Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's 1 p.m. and it's Monday, and we are back. We're back. It's Monday. I want to say hello to Irishman, the first one here, hours early. Thank you for being here early like that. We're going to talk about Walmart giving the boot, Prime suing Prime. There's no trucking recession no matter what people are telling you. Who wants to work more hours? Not me. And there's a spleeting blitz, a spleeting splits. There's blitzes coming and all kinds of more information on the yellow sheet, so let's do it. And I am not coloring my beard. So there. I colored gray, so everybody thinks I'm older than I am, so that's pretty nice. Marty, thanks for being here. Big, huge Mike, you're going to actually make it on the show. I appreciate it. Trucker Hershey is on home time, and, of course, I didn't transition the thing because I don't have any idea what I'm doing. All right, there we go. More clickings, and I'm back. Gregory, thank you for being here. Jay. Walt Wynn is here. Thank you for being in. Michael Muller made it fourth. Al Johns, there's no medal for that. Jeff Roberts, what's going on? Thanks for being in. D.A. is here to be enlightened. Well, me too. Hopefully everybody will enlighten me on something. Bigfoot and Beyond, I appreciate that. From Sasquatch Land, Glenn, thank you for being in. Caleb, teacher's pets were here early. Yes, that's pretty good. K. Wayne, the dressing room. Holy moly, I had to get booted out, or the cat booted me out so she could get in the litter box. So we are moving on. Cash is King is going to make a show. I appreciate you being in here today. We'll talk about some rates in a minute. Johnny, hello. Jay is here. Yeah, the 65 miles an hour. It's possible. Could it happen? It might happen. Wild Bill, hey, what's going on? Good to see you today. Mad Maldy, hello. Luke, you have 8 wine deliveries. Is there some kind of special permit? Some states take a special alcohol permit. Do you have to get an alcohol permit for that? Siege now, nice. What's going on? Lori is here. The Rooster, it's going great. Tina, hey, I had a great 4th of July. Thank you for asking. It's been wonderful here. And finally cooling off, by the way. Bob checking in from Gaffney, North Carolina. Bob Stryker. Fatty 2x4 with one of the best names on YouTube. Chrome Daddy, hello there. Thank you for coming in. James Faust, hey, it's good to see you here. Hope you're doing good. Test the spirits of they are. Wow, that is a long name. Mexicans can take over for head. Maybe there's people here that will work for nothing. So you don't need to import people. There's Americans that are drivers that work for free. That's it for nothing. Crazy. Jesus, hello from Southern California. Finally, you have some better weather than me. Certainly. Ryan O, driving and listening on flatbedding. We'll talk about rates for you as well. Dry van rates are up. So what do you think about that? Good afternoon, Matt B. Bill Stouts, what's up in Ontario? Which TA are you in? The big one or the small one? Kyle, watching from the PAM terminal. Nice. Let them see it. Looking at owner-operator. You like PAM and make good money here. Not for everyone. They don't, all right, well, let's ask you. What do they pay a mile there for you? Frank, what's going on? Mike Shepard, I'm curious to see. You're making good money. What are they paying? They've certainly at starting pay, not the greatest pay, Texas to Oklahoma, that sounds pretty good. Stan is on a 34 in Virginia. Larry Blevins, Jay Rom picking up a load in Dallas. To Evansville. I'll be down in Evansville later today. We can meet up down there. Standing Tall Trucking. Over in LaGrange, Georgia on lunch. I hope you brought something for everyone. Semper Fido from Modesto. Hello. Chris is here. Thank you. Thumbs up. Appreciate it. Jose from Chicago. One of my hometowns. I lived at 1800 North Whipple, which is at near Armitage. That was a lot of fun. Alicia, glad you were able to check up. Yeah, it's great for you to be on here. Michael, how are you doing? I am doing great. And Mr., you don't have to call me Mr., certainly. I work for a living, as we used to say, as they say. All right, so I'm behind as usual. Edgar, hello, what's happening? Alfredo, hello. Trucker Dave from Maine. Something to pass the time. Well, hey, I'll take it, right? Nathan from Duluth, Minnesota's here. Yikes. Luke, right, you have an alcohol permit number. Okay, and I have to give it when I pick up. I thought there was some kind of special permit on alcohol, depending where it's going, on what state it's from and everything. What's the IRS form you need to file if a company is treating a contractor like a company driver? Mark Ferguson. Usually it's the other way around. Okay, so they treat a contractor like you just need to contact the IRS. I don't know if there's a special form. The IRS has a question page. You can go to the IRS and type in, am I an employee? And it has a question page, and it should have all the information there if there is anything more. And file with your state. That's usually the problem. An independent contractor needs to be independent. Rhino is finding good rates, staying above 290. That's what they're saying here as well, right? Michael Terry is able to catch a show. I appreciate it. Mr. Chapstick, hope all is well and a good Independence Day. It was awesome as usual. There are people still shooting off fireworks. Nomad, the best part of the week, unloading in San Antonio. We'll take the unloading as the best part of the week. And who could forget about San Antonio? Corey, watching from home in Florida. Better be a good show. I have to see what I could do about it here. Greetings from me, St. Louis. Ken, Triple V is late. Sorry, you have a tea time at 1 p.m. Yes, you need to keep those clean. They have people out there that do that for you. Supernova, what's going on? Lawrence, always helpful. I appreciate it. Texas Trader from blistering Houston. Houston, I always found the worst city in the whole country, I thought, for weather-wise. James Faust, 65-mile speed limit in the Walmart parking lot. You have to get out of there before you get booted. This Walmart, I did this video. Walmart is booting people right out of their parking lots, 500 smackers right on top. What the heck is up about that? $500 for Walmart. Yikes. Has anybody been booted? I wondered. Has anybody gotten the boot yet? Wild Bill says, did I get 20,000 subscribers yet? I did not. We're getting closer, and as I say, at the 20,000 subscriber, we're about 500 away. I'll be giving away a Blue Parrot 450. B450 headset. So we'll thank you, Blue Parrot, for that. And that'll be free. All you got to do is be on the show. You don't have to do anything else but be in the live show to get that. So that's it at the 20,000 subscriber show. And of course, that's brought to us by Blue Parrot. Thank you, Blue Parrot. CTS Business Coaching, GP Transco. So if you need any business coaching, call CTS. GP Transco, you need a job in the Midwest. They have a new bonus program. You can get up to 12% extra every week on your pay. So that's pretty good. So that's what we are saying about that. And that headset and there'll be other things too. There'll be gift cards and, other stuff. So believe it, there'll be a bunch of stuff. So be on the show. You're going to love it. What are my thoughts on FedEx Freight? As long as you're, W-2, D is your highness, and, you're an employee if you work for somebody else. Can I tell me about Z Transport? Yeah, I've done, Z Transport is one of these places where if we look online for Z Transportation, from what I can see online, now I don't know if this is the fact, I haven't talked to them, they don't pay for empty miles. So that's a real problem. So that might be something you want to talk to them about. Z Transport, when you look up tons of reviews, they don't pay you when you're empty. See what they say about that. Trucker Todd, what did you miss? Nothing yet. Yolanda, Martin Transport bought Chieftain. Nice. Did I hear about it and why? No, I didn't hear anything about it, but these large companies always swallow up these small places. Earth Sun Trucker, trucking to Lancaster. Better get your seat down in California and go to North Carolina. I'll be moving. I don't know if it makes any difference. It's a federal license. It shouldn't make any difference. I would get it in the state I'm going to live in so you don't have to transfer it. What do I think? It's the right time to ask for a raise every day. I started at $18 an hour and rates are $20. I don't know how you live at $18 an hour in California. I'll tell you that. A lot of trucking companies, you may not get it. You have to be ready to walk, if you think it's not enough money. I deliver directly to Total Wine and More stores. Oh, that's pretty good. Do you have to hand unload that? Charles Brandt, hello. Alicia, why do truck companies make you fight with your paycheck? It depends where you are. Some of them are really stingy about paying you. I don't understand it. But, a couple of those and I got to leave because I got to get paid on time. Got to get paid on time. If they're not going to pay you, there's no point in being there. Good afternoon, Stephen Foster. Reginald, hello. Your name is Reggie. Thanks for being here. Big Huge Mike says you're better off getting your CDO where you're going to live. Some states have a time. Yeah. Wherever you're going to figure out to live, that's where you should go to start with. It was raining all week in Bowling Green, Ohio. Yikes. Michael Dominique Mani says, thank you for your work. It's really informative and full of handy information. Thank you very much. My pronunciation is not as good as the work. I apologize. White light is air leak on trailer tires. Nice. Fred Morgan, any word on bulk? Yeah, Z Transportation is the one that's not paying these empty miles, as far as I can see. No empty pay. Earth Sun Trucker, I park at a Pilot next to Walmart because there's a sign that says Walmart parking only. That's interesting. You could walk over there, I guess. Oh, if you have to wear it, make it a parrot. Oh, we'll send that on to them. Your trainer got kicked out of a Walmart with a Walmart load. He was waiting for his appointment time. Did he have a Walmart trailer? See, I thought the trailers can park there. From what I understand, if you have one of their trailers, you can park at a Walmart. Walmart in Plainfield is towing for $1,600. Was warned by an officer to leave. Yikes. Yikes. Trying to choose a trucking company. Can you do a review on Black Horse? Black Horse is one of those logistics companies that people ask about a lot. Each city, they do something different. They did come here. Oh, it's been about a year now in Lafayette, and I actually went to talk to them. They had a milk route that paid $250 a day and $350 on Saturday. If you worked the 6th day, was a flat rate. But they only do that here. That was something they were doing here. They were opening up. Every city, they do, 9 different things. You have to call them and see what they're doing near you because it's different everywhere you go. I hope I get it. I'm tired of a speakerphone. Yes. Be sure to be on the show, which should be in a few weeks. That's the way I'm looking at now. I can't feel sorry for the driver if the lot and it's posted. I agree. At Walmart, there were signs that say no parking. And so then, they tapped on the trucks or whatever, but if it says no parking, you can't park there. Even though he said, look, you're going to get, you can stay here, no way. You personally don't run past 8 to 9 hours, Michael, to make sure you can find a parking spot. I think that's a better idea, right? Don't run. These people were saying, oh, well, I was there. I was out of hours. Well, then you have no choice. You're not giving yourself any opportunity to park somewhere. Jimmy, does anybody have information out of Magnum? They have somewhere in Pennsylvania too, don't they? Alex, do you think a company should go 1099? No, you shouldn't. You're being misclassified, and they're actually not allowed to 1099 you if you're an employee. Taxes are killing you. You need to get some tax deductions, right? Nomad Derby at TA Daily. Yeah. I do a turn nightly, Dave, from Buffalo to Cleveland. Come up on owner-operators of company trucks doing under 50 in a 65 zone. Is this a new trend? Well, look, I work at night too, and I find a lot of trucks at night going really slow, and I think the drivers are tired because sometimes they're weaving around, but sometimes they're going really slow, and it's not always just prime. I'll come up on trucks doing 50, 51, that kind of thing, 53. I think they're tired. They're just not used to it. It's tougher driving at night. I do it every day, but people that are not up at night, it's not great. John, empty miles. I once looked into Cassins. They pay pretty lucrative mileage rate, but zero on empty. That's the problem. You're still driving. You need to get paid for all your miles. If you're only getting paid loaded, what if they have 500 empty miles a week? You can make $24 an hour, Mike says, driving a box truck in Denver. Over 30 with a Class A. You've seen tree pulling jobs over 40. Well, that's pretty good. Reginald is a big fan of Trucking Answers. I appreciate it. And your name is Reggie. I actually remembered that. Cash is King, 86 in Dayton, and your AC is out. You just got it fixed. Just put a bunch of money into that air, and you just got it fixed. When are we going to get this new truck? You said you're getting another truck. Let's get in it. Stonehaulers checking in from Waterville, Ohio. 421, good day. What's the topic? Well, I have several things going on here. There's this big thing about this recession. I've seen a lot of people putting out trucking recession videos. There's really no recession in trucking. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that in May, there were 4,300 jobs added, the best since January, and the best were logistics and parcel. It's the best it's been, and rates are up, and freight is up 6% over the same 6 months of last year. There's more freight, and the rates are higher. In LA, the rates are 14% higher than they were 6 months ago. So I'm not thinking recession on that way. Christopher, hello from Temple, Texas. What do I think about Trans Am? I agree with Steel Horse right here. No to trans scam. Trucker Todd, I really hope the government could do something about detention. I'm sitting at Cargill and Waco, and it doesn't like they're going to get to me anytime soon. Well, here's the thing. Since the only thing is that you're not, under FLSA, we aren't required to get paid. So your company could pay you, and they don't. So really, it's your company that's not paying you, I think. Because I get paid detention. A lot of people on here do get detention. And if you're not getting paid, you need to go to your company and say, I don't work for free, and, value your time and say, I'm not doing it. You just got to, I'm not sitting for nothing. You can sit at home for nothing. Dear Your Highness, I've learned that I've saved a lot more working out of your home state. I worked in Virginia and lived in Maryland. Check was $200 less working local, but a higher net pay. Oh, because of maybe a tax difference, maybe. Michael Brown, boycott Walmart. I never shop at Walmart. I've always said that. I don't go in there to shop on off time, on time, or any other time. What about high idle warnings for big companies? Again, they're, if they don't want you to idle, ask them, well, I guess you guys are going to pay for a motel, right? Or I guess I'm leaving. You mean, because you can't live in the truck and not have it be comfortable in there. What all the truckers on YouTube? I don't know anything about that. Well, other than me, right? Tons of super fit truckers making it look like being a truck driver is a walk in the park. Yes, thank goodness I'm there to offset that. We can't have everybody looking good on there. So at least there's me to give a realistic look of, holy crap, looks what happens when you go drive a truck. Yikes. Keeping it real. James Faust, if drivers would quit leaving their bottles on the lot at Walmart, they might let trucks park. Look, I'm sure the Walmarts turn into the same kind of thing as everywhere else. Now, I looked at Meijer this weekend because here in Lafayette because they allow drivers to park. I actually went around the edges, and there weren't any bottles. I don't know if they clean them up or if the drivers don't just leave them there. I don't know what happens, but you can't leave your stuff around. They're garbage cans. Use them. Holy mackerel! Somebody wrote to me and said that some of the drivers actually use the display grills for cooking at Walmart. Who does that? The grills that are on display maybe that's a selling point. Hey, look at those drivers. They love these grills. I mean, holy moly. This one's preheated for you when you buy it. Jeep Cherokee full. Just heading up to the yard, starting your week. Thanks for efforts. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here today. Trucker Hershey may be driving slow because they're getting paid hourly. Yeah, maybe. I guess. I mean, that wouldn't be any good. You should do your job, to the best of your ability, no matter how you're being paid. Hey, Walmart is doing this everywhere or just certain locations. It depends where you are. Some of them have signs, some don't. This one was in Kentucky. Michael, I want to find a driver for my truck, but how do I know how much to pay? A lot. What's considered a good pay per mile? Well, what is it? What is pay in the area? And, of course, they need to be an employee of yours, not 1099. Rhino, I drive every day. That's why I wear sunglasses. Yes, the sun bothers me. Siege Now says a grand take-home is good. Yeah, it depends how much they're going to work, right? What can they get elsewhere? You need to compete. Can I do a review on companies doing it better in Connecticut? There's not a lot of companies that locate out there due to the high tax problem, right? William Richardson is waiting to get their air fixed, too. Everybody's got an air problem today. I hope I don't have one when I get over there. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Gary, we get $21 an hour for detention after the first hour. Yeah, so you would be getting paid for that. Siege Now does not like Optimize Idle. I don't like it either. It starts and stops the engine of the truck day and night, and believe me, your neighbors don't like it either. It's a bad system. You don't see it as much anymore as you used to. Alex has $25,000 saved up plus good credit, thinking about getting a box truck with a sleeper and doing over the road. Oh, so you do like coming expedited or whatever? Yeah, let me know how that goes. Matt, if a company imposes an idle restriction, don't work for them. Yes. Look, you need to be able to either idle or they need to give you an APU or buy you a motel, one of the three. You can't sweat it out or freeze it out. That kind of company probably has other deals too, 421, as far as the trucking recession, every local driver I know in LTL says it's slow, and drive-in drivers are saying the same. Look, DAT load board says there's 6% more loads than there were at the same time last year. I haven't found any difference in anything. A couple of rates I wrote down. Stockton to Portland right now is $3.02 for a dry van, which is pretty good. And they said the dry van average across the country is $1.89. It's up 14% since last year at the same time, and it's the highest since January of this year. Virgo Life, some Walmarts are like truck stops. Yes. Trucker Hirsch, you were in Alaska and Alabama for 3 days. Truck stayed running except for fueling. Yeah, AK Alaska. Right. Maybe Arkansas. Glenn, Walmart on the West Coast doesn't do boots. I parked there several times. Good. I mean, I think part of it, some people said, well, it's a local ordinance. Depends where you are. Some of them just don't want you there because of other problems that they've had in the parking lot. And some it is a local ordinance. Mike, I'm an LTL driver and run 6 days a week if you want. Yeah, I mean, it's I haven't noticed any differences at all. Walmart in Bowling Green is safe to park. Candy, Morgan Stanley came out with the recession BS and people are running with it like it's gospel. I know, because they said Oh, there was another article I read. There were a couple of stocks that they said you should sell, trucking stocks, like 2 stocks. There's thousands of trucking companies. Trucking companies go through. I tell you, you should sell it on stock if you have any over the counter or whatever right now and get your $4 out of your 300 shares. That doesn't mean trucking's in a recession. This was the best month. June, which is the latest month they have, was the best month they've had all year for hiring. There's tons of driving jobs still. Bob says sometimes he's stacked with multiple loads. Exactly. Now, there may be some segment of the industry where they hire, where they only haul a specific niche thing that is a problem. But overall, hiring is up. Freight rates are up. Loads are up. According to DAT, everything is up. How bad would it hurt Walmart if no one went there for 24 hours? Probably pretty bad. Unfortunately, people shop on price rather than on value. Well, Bill, why do people park at Walmart? Is there no other option? These people said that they went across street to the Pilot, but it was full, of course, and they were out of hours. So they really had nothing else they could do but park at the Walmart. And so that was the problem. A lot of people arrive right to their end of their day or whatever, and then they're trying to scramble to find a parking spot. How hard is it to get a driver job at NASCAR? Well, I think that might be one that is harder to get. Would have no idea how to get in with that. I assume you have to know somebody who recommends you. I mean, how many of them are there? How many teams are there? I don't follow NASCAR. 20 or 40? I don't know. Outdoors Hillbilly watches me every Monday. I appreciate it. Walmart doesn't seem to have campers parked there like it's the KOA. Some of them do. Some of them, the whole thing is lined with campers with their slide outs put out and everything. Holy moly. Steel Horse says she would, I would recommend hourly pay. There we go. Glenn just put Loctite on the dry shaft bolts and leave it in gear. They can't tow it with a trailer. There were police called in this one. And so they said, look, it's legal. You're going to have to pay or whatever. You're not going to get out of this one. This one, the people called the police and said, hey, what are they doing? The police came and said, look, that's it. They have a right to do this. So with the cops there, nobody was getting out of this one. And everybody paid, apparently, with an EFS check right away. Are dry van drivers being picky about miles? People might be choosy about it, right? Christopher, what's the topic? I have several, right, including this fake recession and all these other Walmart booting. Prime is suing Prime. Can you believe it? City ordinance can prohibit parking in the shopping center. Yeah, our shopping center says no parking here. But it's not really on the highway, so people don't ever really park in it. Okay. Earth Sun Trucker, love it. I got an email saying my idle time was 61% and that I should turn the truck off when I can and open the windows. Yeah, tell them good luck with that. Yikes. Whether it's a long run or short run shouldn't matter. If you ain't turning, you ain't earning. It depends how you get paid, right? It depends how you get paid. 421 Walmart only allows their trucks to park at stores, and in some cases, a Walmart can't park at some stores. That's crazy. The ones they call noise ordinance, and the Walmart doesn't want people idling on their property. I guess if there's a local ordinance, it applies to their own trucks too. Walmart in Nebraska are trucker friendly. I gotta believe farther west you go, the better it gets. The company I work for doesn't have any idle restrictions and no fueling restrictions either. That's good. They just ask that you fuel the Pilot Flying J, but we can use Loves or Petrol. That's the way to do it, right? Same with me. Open com data card, can fuel anywhere I want. That is really good. Caleb, your brother, the pirate, just released a video on YouTube saying trucking and recession are here. Okay, well, I mean, we can all have a different opinion on it. DAT says there's more loads, 6% more loads from this year, from the same time last year, and the rates are up and the loads are up and hiring is up. I don't call that a recession, but hey, we can agree to disagree on it, really. Can we get a blue parrot break? That's clicking. I got to figure out how to click it. There's that. And, of course, Blue Parrot is the official headset of Trucking Answers. That's pretty good. I actually did it without booting everybody off, which is even better. As I get that back up. Okay. Had to park your truck in Mississippi, where B.B. King was from. Hey, that's awesome. There's some dirty over-the-road guys that make it hard. I think that's a lot of it at these Walmarts. I mean, if there's no local ordinance, why wouldn't they let you park there other than people are ruining the parking lot? Walmart in Seattle has a city ordinance, park during the day and no overnight. So they have to move you. They have to do it to follow the ordinance, right? So some of it is going to be like that. What do I think about Panther box trucks? I don't know anything about owner-operator box truck, how that would work or whatever. Not sure about it. They don't have any numbers inflated to just report the spot market. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, right? My truck stays running till you're out of the truck for the day. Then you're cool in there, right? But if you had an APU, it wouldn't be a big problem, I assume. But still, the company, if they're not going to provide an APU, they need to let you run the truck. They can't gripe at you about it. It's hot out. I get 54 cents a mile on $100 for hand unloading. Ooh, nice. And $20 a stop with 5 stops a day. Nice. 83 grand last year, home every other day with the weekends off. That's really good. How heavy are the boxes? Intermodal is not up. Intermodal, I don't know about that. It would seem like everybody's going that way. I don't know. You sold your Falcon stock, says Stan. They told me to pay them. It's the only stock that is worth less than Celadon stock right now. Alfredo, I think the one that wants to let us park at Walmart or anywhere because there are many drivers who throw bottles. Yeah, this is a truck stop problem, a Walmart. What are we doing? I mean, why do we have to say to people, don't throw big, gigantic bottles of urine out your truck into the back? Come on. Nobody wants to go pick that up. Wendy West, hello. Thank you for being here. Christina, how do I stay awake? You drive at night, but I'm up during the day. It's 1:25 p.m. here, and this is Monday, so I didn't drive last night. But I'll be up tonight, and this is what I've done for years. So once you find the same schedule, do the same thing every day on the same schedule, and it isn't as difficult as switching schedules and all that kind of thing. And I'm kind of in a lower stress job than most people. I probably work less than almost everybody on here, I would say, most likely. And the other side, most everybody on here makes more than I do as well. James Faust, Prime is suing Amazon. Yeah, Prime sues Prime. Prime Inc., right, New Prime as it's legally called, is suing Amazon Prime. Because the Amazon Prime trailers, have you seen these? It says Prime on their trailer. Well, Prime Inc. says, hey, to Amazon, your trailers are going to be confused with our trailers. People are going to be confused. Well, it turns out Prime Inc. never got a trademark for their name, and Amazon Prime did in 2005. And Prime Inc. tried to get a trademark in 2011, was turned down because they go, hey, Amazon Prime already trademarked it. So now Prime Inc. is all upset about it. I don't know why so many years later. But now they say, look, you shouldn't have given it to Amazon Prime, and we want it because we've been in business longer. But generally on trademarks, the first one that gets it keeps it. Steel Horse says NASCAR uses owner-operators. I didn't know that. Those are all owner. Do they contract that for the season then? How would that work? I don't follow NASCAR at all. It seems like it'd be a lot easier with employees. If you ever go to South Haven, you could park in the lot. Society found the channel a week ago and enjoy the content. Thank you. Thank you for finding me here. Al Johns is in South Haven. Right. Sometimes NASCAR look really on Twitter. I would never have thought those are owner-operators. Charles Russell, idle 1.37%. Nice to have an APU. Right. APU, exactly. But I think you agree, if you didn't have one, they should let you run the truck. If you work for a racing team, you're not just driving, you're also helping the shop and you're the team's unofficial chief. I assume there's more stuff to do. Or chef. It says chef. That'd be a problem. Pizza rolls again. Right. Glenn, our weekly idle is 25% for summer. You were 26%. No call. 101 in Idaho on the 4th. Had to run it. They better not say anything about it. That's pretty low in the summertime if you don't have an APU. I mean, 1/4 of the drive time. Walmart in Ellicott City, Maryland is KOA. It's a campground, right? Steel Horse, a fake recession to control driver pay. Maybe the ATA came up with it. Maybe. That would be something to put out there because they can say, oh, well, there's a recession, so we can't give a raise to everybody. Times are tough out here at the ATA. Cash is king. I definitely think there's no loads available, but it seems like the rate for certain lanes are still way down. Well, I guess lane by lane. I only wrote a couple of these lanes down. Memphis to Chicago was $241 on dry vans also, was what it said as of last week. Adam, how do you save fuel in California with max load at 45,000? Well, I don't think we're having a fuel mileage bonus. It's just the idle bonus. Big, huge Mike, diesel engines are made to run. That's where you never shut mine off. Truck is barely ever in the shop when it's because you brought it in for service or something broke off of it. Yeah, turn it on and off 40 times a day. Just let the thing run, although most companies don't allow it. Just got a brand new Blue Parrot 450 outdoor hillbilly. What do you think about it? pretty good because we're going to be giving one away sooner rather than later. The ATA is a big scam. They don't care about truckers. They're only out for the mega carriers. Yes, Matt, that's who they represent. And we're the voice of the American trucker. No, you're the voice of the large American trucking company. That's what it should say. Rena says, Blue Parrot, you had too many go out on charging. You Plantronics Voyager. Yikes. This is the official channel of Blue Parrot. We had Steel Horse here who actually had one long enough to replace the battery in it. So that was pretty good. Cassius King says Panther was bought up by ABF. Really? Kenneth, you have idle management. What does that mean? Prime must be desperate if they're sowing Prime makes them look bad. I don't understand why all these years later, they tried to get a trademark in 2011 and they were turned down. And so now they're like, oh, we're going to sue Amazon Prime because people are confused. When you see those two trailers, I'm sure you've seen both of them. Are you confused? Do you think an Amazon Prime trailer is, oh, that must be Prime? I mean, who's confused about that? Maybe if you don't know anything about trucking, but then if you don't know anything about trucking, who cares if people see the different trailers? Most of the APUs you've been around are louder than your truck. Some of them need a muffler. My company, Al says, my company says intermodal is down. You got 23 hours 2 weeks ago. Yikes. But you have another lead. Yeah, holy mackerel. 23 hours. That's a light week. Christina, what are the blue names of blue wrenches? Those are moderators on the channel that help keep the channel running smoothly with no drama, certainly, and could boot people off of the channel or put you in timeout. NASCAR owner-operators, are you sure? I didn't know that. I mean, those trucks are big. It's certainly possible. I've seen ads on owner-operator for Twitter. Maybe they hire both. That's really something. NASCAR uses a company named Showtime Trucking. They do stage shows. Yeah, let's get this show on the road. That's what it says on the side of their trucks. Kenneth says you've been stuck on the West Coast. Now it's saying rates out of Stockton are $3 a mile and that they can't get enough trucks out of there. Big Huge Mike would like to do NASCAR, but there isn't a lot of time off. Yeah, during the season, I assume it's pretty busy, but then don't you get all that off time out of season? Any drivers have inside contact. Yeah, who has an inside contact? I got to believe that's the only way you can get on at NASCAR, really. So it's got to be really difficult because how many are there? 30, 40? I don't actually know. Does anyone know if there's still a fine for not having insurance? I assume so. I assume you get fined. You're not allowed to drive it without insurance, just like a car. Bill says Blue Parrot worked for him. Yeah, right. We love our Blue Parrots here. Kenneth said your grandfather used to race in NASCAR? Siege now just started ShipX. Yes, please let us know. I've had a couple other people go there and like it. It's not a company if you like to sit around. I mean, the money there, they have a salary, but the money there really is in the miles. So just the straight salary is really no better than other places, but the bonuses really can bring your pay up. Leon says Indy to Lansing, Michigan for dry vans 800. How many miles would that be off the top of your head? My truck can idle intermittently. The temperature range is set. Oh, on a little display in there. Outdoor Sibley, the 450 is nice. I have a 350, so I'll have to take your word for that. Cassius King Trucking, New Prime is just trying to keep their lawyers busy. They don't have enough, they're not busy enough trying to collect money from all the students that they have. Mark of Excellence says, I hear ShipX is the big bucks. It can be. If you'll run the miles, that's how you make the money there. I always say that to people. If you're unwilling to run a lot of miles, that's not going to be the place for you. Because the base salary is, a regular base salary like anywhere else. Trucking, Darg, and hey, what's going on? Rena, I've gotten stuck in different large truck companies, but they don't really go anywhere. So I sold vegan meat stocks is where I'm at right now. Okay, well, that's a huge change. Justin, is there any app for better trip planning or any ideas for trip planning to get better at it? It will take time to just get better at it. You should start out on a map. I think everybody should start on an atlas that doesn't know the country, where you can't picture the country in your head, so that you can get an idea of how the country really is set up. I think it really will help. Oh, health insurance. Oh, no, they canceled I was going to say, okay, so the Princess of Dixie, no, they canceled the fine for not having health insurance. Kenneth, yep, drove a black Monte Carlo. Nice. Really? The orientation was great. So far you're sitting. Siege now. Well, at least I guess the benefit of it is you still get your salary. They need to get you moving, though, so you can get the bonus. Rhino gravy job. Yeah, not a bad place, right? Mike, you just got your CDL. Do I know a good startup company in Illinois? Ooh, will Newsbomb take students? I'm not sure about that. I would call Newsbomb. I'm not sure if they take students. Talk to a manager at Walmart. He said it's not the trash, but damages like light poles. Oh, that's possible too. Some of them are like the one Walmart here has a lot of planters and medians and curbs in the middle of it, so it kind of forces the trucks off to the side. The one on Commerce Drive here. So that could be thing too. Drivers are driving around and knocking the light poles down. All right, that's another reason. Cassius King Trucking. New Prime Incorporated should feel lucky if someone thinks they are on Amazon. It's not like they have a decent reputation. Yeah, I mean, what are they trying to do? Are the trailers confusing to everybody? Oh, is that Prime? Who is that? Who cares? Outdoor Hillbilly. Who wants to go to California? That's why they're having problems getting trucks out there. They have a lot of different regulations. Oh, wait a minute. We got somebody, a Blue Parrot. Keegan has a 550. Oh, you stepped it up. I saw they were on sale this week at the Loves. Didn't I see a sign for them at like $149 or something? Nice. Trucking Dargan. Got the Rand McNally headset. More comfortable, but my Blue Parrot has better options. Yes, the Blue Parrot is the best option, of course. Jimmy went over to Schuster. Good call. Thanks for the information. Too bad I don't get referral. I do not. It's good if anyone uses your name. You'll give $200 cash. Right. The thing is about that, and I'm glad it worked out for you. I'm always nervous about putting that out. I don't take money from trucking companies because that would, skew what I say. Oh, I'm going to push people to only a certain place, and I don't want to do that. I want to try to help people, if they want me to find a place that's right for them, for where they live, for the kind of trucking they want to do. So I don't take any money from trucking companies at all. So although I will take a T-shirt, as we saw if you follow my Instagram, if they want to send me a shirt, I'm in for that. But no money from trucking companies. Because on my Instagram, you should follow me on Instagram at Trucking Answers. Right, I had my red classic shirt on, so I had a picture with that. Earth Sun Trucker. I made it to my delivery point in Lancaster. Saw a Boyd truck with his trailer detached from his fifth wheel. Did he forget to put his legs down? Big Huge Mike. NASCAR itself, as far as I know, gets 2 months off before going back to the track. But drivers don't always haul the cars around to be ready for the season. So they don't have a lot of time off then. But I mean, you would know that going in. I guess you get to watch the race too, if that's something you like. Kenneth uses a Blue Parrot. Glenn, they're suing Amazon Prime because they're trying to afford all the fingerless gloves for all the 57-mile-an-hour Prime vlog truckers. I don't know why it's Prime. I guess maybe those are just the ones being brought to me, but I see a lot of drivers for Prime that are doing videos, and a lot of them are driving when they're doing videos. I don't know why it's Prime that has that, considering how many other companies there are. Siege now ran from Utah to Birmingham, sitting here for 2 days. They want $12,000 a month. Right. They need to give you the $12,000 a month, though, too. I heard they want you to do 12 because you get the salary. That is true. Sitting for 2 days at least, I guess, you're going to get your salary, even though you're sitting. The Princess of Dixie Hill. Yeah, they did cancel the medical insurance fine, so you don't have to have medical insurance, although you should probably have it. GP Transco's here. Good afternoon from the Windy City. Yes, not far from me, up there near Chicago. GP Transco, thanks for being here today. Rena Schneider is in Charlotte, North Carolina, is training for free to get your CDL, no contract. You can stay with Schneider or go to other companies. I'll have to look into that. It'd be unusual for them to train you with no kind of obligation or anything at all, where they don't want any kind of payback. All right, and the other thing about Schneider, they pay household goods miles. So you kind of lose out around 10% of your pay if you go to a place with household goods miles. Not the greatest, really. Mark of Excellence says Newsbomb does not take students. All right, well, there's my answer on that. Trucking Dargan. Hey, Mark, you left USA Truck. Yikes. Now you're running KLLM dedicated. Well, here's the thing. KLLM, which I never really liked because of their poor detention policy and lower pay. But I've always said at a large place, a dedicated run would be the way to go. What do you think about the dedicated run at this mega carrier? Usually it works out a lot better. Justin, since Maverick is not in your area, really, where are you? Is there another good company for starting besides if they do not have Maverick in my area? Oh, you're in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, up there it's hard to get into a place. I've recommended Doug Andrews to people, which is in Idaho or something up there. They don't pay as much. The Northwest doesn't pay as much, but they get excellent reviews from people about their training program and that everybody is treated well. You kind of sacrifice a little bit of pay there for excellent treatment and good trucks. Call Doug Andrews and see what you think about them and up in the Northwest. And look at their reviews online because they get very good reviews from people. Kenneth, he was forced out by his wife and tribe support and ended after a near fatal wreck. Who? What company? James Faust asked, what company do I drive for? Well, that's good. I never get that question. So, I always say, look, I don't say who I work for. I keep them out of my videos, unlike a lot of prime drivers, apparently. And I also don't recruit for them, which I don't really recruit for anybody. So that keeps everything on the up and up, and that just keeps them in the background. Michael, I could tell you how to get from one part of the country to the other, but I have no clue how to get around town. Yeah, a good GPS, of course, which I just use Google Maps on a phone, okay? And because the GPS and the things are not updated or whatever, Google Maps is very good. And the Road Atlas from Motor Care's Road Atlas. And that's how I always got around and call the place. You know, seriously, call where you're going. If you've never been there, call them and say, hey, how do I get in this place? Then you satellite view where you're going. All right, so I'm going down this road. I'm going to look at a satellite view of that road if I've never been down it. Is there an overpass? Is there tracks? What is it? You know, and sometimes the address of Google Maps is their physical address, but the truck entrance is 4 driveways down. And so you'll know that by Google mapping it, really. And that's really the way I would do it, and that's totally the way to do it. You work for one of the rare companies. Where did I just go off to? Right. Okay, Standing Tall Trucking, that pay by the hour for local and over the road. There are a few of those. You're a private fleet that has your own freight, which is 97% hazardous and employee-owned. See, so you're doing very good. Chrome Junkie, how are we doing? What's the topic? Hey, what's going on? We got all these different stuff going on here. Mullet had any new information about the 65-mile-an-hour proposal? Nothing new has changed. Siege Now, Penske Logistics is a good company, all right. They're like Black Horse and all these other ones that do a lot of different stuff in each city. Look, on this new hours of service, I wanted to ask people this too. There was because they're going to have it out July 31st. So they surveyed a bunch of drivers, and you know what the main thing? Drivers want more hours. So what do you think about that? They want flexibility and more hours to be able to do their job because 14 hours is not enough. It was like 40-some%, which was a plurality, okay? It was the most anybody said because there are just not enough hours to make money. Do you agree with that? Should they expand the hours of service so that you can work more hours every day? His son, his landing gear was half up, but he was dug in the gravel. What the heck? Michael Muller, I buy my Blue Parrot at Best Buy and get the 2-year warranty. When it breaks, I replace for free at any Best Buy and repurchase the warranty. Oh, plus Best Buy matches Amazon. Yeah, Best Buy is really good at matches Amazon. You can show it to a blue shirt, as they say, and that's a very good way to do it. The best thing about many carriers using intermodal is every trip could be like a drop and hook. They could be. Would also make another argument moot. Detention pay. I agree. I drop and hook every day and rarely have to get any kind of detention. Kenneth, I know not is Sierra England governed at 65 on cruise, so is Crete. They don't know. One passed me before going 68, so I don't know if they booted their speed up or if that driver just got lucky. Big Huge Mike gets a Blue Parrot at a truck stop. When they discount him and use points and get him for free, that's also a good way. They don't cost anything that way. Glenn, did I know Central Oregon Flatbed pays for health insurance? I did. I've done a video about them. Free health insurance at Central Oregon Trucking. Now, the person that asked about the Pacific Northwest, they do want experience at Central Oregon. They also hauled the nation's Christmas tree. They have excellent pay. They feed drivers, and you come in, they feed lunch every day at the terminal there. I mean, it's voted one of the best places to work every year by their own drivers. A truck in Dargan, you're in my backyard at the TA of I-80. Yeah, not that far from me. KLLM sounds like Kill 'em. Yeah, they had to change their name. Who remembers that? KLM used to be called KLM Trucking, right? Remember that? But who sued them? KLM Airlines and said, hey, no way. So that's how that works. And then they went to KLLM. That's a little bit of trivia. This is the first time I'm hearing about dropping the fine for not having insurance. I guess I could drop my family plan and save $1,800. Yes, there's no fine anymore Trump, or not Trump, but Congress changed that, and so there's no fine for it. Check with your tax professional. Big, huge mic. The first Blue Parrot I got at 5 years before the mic went and put the speaker, but still worked and still charged and lasted. The second one you still have and use it every day for 5 years. That's pretty good, considering, how much they get charged and everything. That is very good. They're expensive. There's no question about it. But, there's cost and there's value. That's what I try to tell everybody. Wow, Bill, that is a good policy. Thank you very much. As long as you charge them and unplug them, when they're done charging, they last forever. Don't overcharge these things. I use Trucker Path, which works like Google Maps. I have not used it. I use Google Maps, which works like Google Maps. Maybe others should adopt this policy. Yes, I agree. Thoughts on Heartland Express and North Liberty? People call it Heartless Express. Another large carrier, Here's somebody right. I just noticed that. Heartless, right. Rena Dahl, how long have I been driving? This is year 31 of driving. July is 31 years, so we're this month. Trucking jargon, you're right about detention, 4 hours minimum, but you get 20 an hour after that, up to 200 to stop, $1 empty, up to $1 loaded. Yeah, so you're getting paid for your time, and that's what we're looking for here. That's all drivers want, is to get paid for their time. GP Transco, we're starting a fuel saving program, so even more bonuses for drivers to keep the money saved by going above the expected mileage for the truck. Do other carriers do this? Some companies do have a fuel bonus, and some don't. And so I'm not a huge fan of them, only because of this, in that the driver doesn't have control over the equipment, although yours are mostly the same there, and or the loads. So it depends on, how a driver feels, because you can get a heavy load. So if I get stuck doing, heavy loads on I-70 all the time, I get different fuel mileage than some guy who's the brown noser of the company, what it would seem to me, who's getting 10,000 pound loads of, ping pong balls across Illinois, that kind of thing. But yeah, some companies do it and it works out. Mesilla Valley is probably the biggest one doing it, and they're very aggressive on their fuel mileage. It goes to like 9 miles to the gallon or something. Steelhorse does not want more hours. I know. Wendy, get rid of the 30-minute break. That was the second biggest thing on there. But drivers wanted these more hours. I've used Google Maps for the last few years with some common sense, and I've never had a problem. Yeah, look, Google Maps is not truck routing. Okay, remember that. It doesn't give you size routing. But if you can take some common sense, make a phone call now, much easier than it used to be when we had to go into the Flying J in the little booth in the back, and get out our phone card from Sprint. You can find your way without running into stuff. Justin, I think $14 is enough to make many trucks are parked on the side of the road, and it's dangerous. I think we should stick with what we have and get there. Yes. They park for this 30-minute break. That needs to end. Michael, I use a 6-year-old TND 730. Never had a problem with routing. Just use Google Maps for traffic. It is great for traffic. And where the entrance to the shipper and receiver, and where the entrance is to save in your GPS. Right. The satellite view, is one of the best things. You can really look at where you're going. Flat cap, Doug Andrews pays 32 cents. Yes, that is. It's low. It's low. I said it was low. Andrews pays low, but look up the reviews of Prime and look up the reviews of Doug Andrews. I don't want to be at a place that I hate working to get more money. Money isn't worth that. The stress of every day, of not liking where you work, not being treated well, that kind of thing. That's why it's you can call them both, okay? The reviews, that kind of thing, it's worth it to me to make less and not be stressed out every single day of my life. About that 65-mile-an-hour proposal, I commented in your video about drivers trying to make up that time on the downgrade. Yeah, right. I saw, right, people making up time on the downgrade. It seems like that'd be kind of dangerous, and it wouldn't save you that much time. But drivers do that now. We cruise down, a hill fast. I don't know. Would that help? Maybe. I think the 14-hour rule needs to be eliminated. It can force drivers to be unsafe if held over by a shipper or receiver. Well, Matt B., here's the thing. How many hours should drivers drive them? Because then there'll be a rule for how many hours. So what should be the maximum? Where would be the max on that? Standing tall, I think we should go back to the old rules in the 90s when you could stop. Okay, right. Before the change, you used to be able to go into sleeper or off duty and you stopped your clock. Simple as that. So that was how it used to be. Siege Now Crete is a grab company. Okay. Kenneth, why do we say that? Let's put that out there. Kenneth, I say stop the 14-hour clock like the 70-hour clock when you go off the clock. That's the problem, though, is that usually that time is stopped without pay. And so you're going to run. Drivers used to be able to work 20 hours a day. You could work 22 hours in one day, still be up. Is that, would that improve safety? My understanding about Heartless is you get low miles, many weeks less than 2,000. That would not be great. Justin, Sierra England is 63 on the pedal and 65 on the cruise. Well, that one must have got lucky. Michael, I say get rid of the 11-hour rule and let us use the 14-hour rule as you please. So that would keep the same amount of hours now, max of 14, but you do whatever you want in that 14 hours. Drive all of it, work all of it. That might be a workable rule that I could go with because it doesn't increase the actual time that you're working. Jimmy, Schuster is 68 and have a manual. Yeah, some of them were manuals there. I saw that. Rena got a new sub. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here and for subscribing. I'm live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, by the way, so I hope that you'll join in again. JC, my new student out of South Florida, just got a CDL, looking to get in a flatbed. Oh, well, I don't know if CCC, here I go again, right? CCC, which is usually where I recommend people in Florida go because they will hire out of Florida. So CCC, but I don't think they have a flatbed division. Would he be able to get into tanks or move? Al Johns is an old sub. Yes. Look, I appreciate that as well. Believe me. People that started out the beginning, I was going to say when it was nothing, but it's not like it's some kind of huge thing. But, when there was hardly 10 people on the show or whatever, that was really something. Oh, rumor, will robots take our jobs? And will they have robot bellies? No. What'll happen eventually is robots, of course, will kill all of us. And then they'll just drive themselves around. Once they figure out how to make copies of themselves, they'll kill everybody, presumably. Rick, if you're thinking about getting into trucking, you can start out in a cargo van with us out of CDL, but would advise against Bolt Express. You could, but it's not going to give you any experience that is, usable. That won't count for any kind of experience. Meaning you could drive that for 10 years and then get your CDL, and you still will have. They'll still be considered no experience. Marcus, very knowledgeable, need to do this more often. Thank you very much. I'm on every Monday at 1 p.m. for 2.5 hours, so Eastern, and once in a while I go live extra. Larry, is Prime a good company to lease purchase from? No. No company is a good company to lease purchase from. As I've always said, I've only had 2 people ever that have sent me checks that prove that they make more than a solo driver in a lease purchase, and that's something considering, we're at millions of views on the channel. 2 people have come forward to make more money than you would just make as a company driver, okay? You're just renting the truck from the company. If you want to own a truck, go buy a truck and put the truck on somewhere and own that piece of business equipment. That's what makes you money. You want control of that. Don't rent the truck from the company. Lease purchase is not an owner-operator. That is true, right? You're not even an owner-operator, really. You're just renting the truck from the company. Wendy doesn't want more hours. That's what I'm saying. I don't want any more hours. I mean, isn't 14 hour a long enough day for people? Schuster's 20 an hour after 2 up to $200. I never know why they limit it, but hopefully you're not sitting there for 10 hours. Well, Bill, it was impossible for you to get more hours. Yeah, you already work all the hours. There aren't any more hours to give you. Rena, 14 hours needs to stop while in the dock. Stop the clock. But then, can you extend your day? So could you work 17, 18 hours a day? 19 hours. That's what it used to be. You used to be able to do that. You could work 19, 20 hours a day. Is that the safest thing to do? That's what I'm saying. A big, huge Mike says, lease purchase is not the way to go if you want to make it, but each their own. I agree. You're just renting the truck, buying yourself a job that pays you less at the end of the day than a good company driver at the same company. Britain Transport pays detention to take students. Oh, Tina. All right. Yeah, they're out in the Northwest, right? I think so. So that's another way to do it. Jeffrey Herring, good afternoon. It's good to see you on here today. Thank you for being here. The Steel Horse says 30 an hour after 2 hours. That's very good as well. And these have to be guaranteed, which I know yours is there, but I'm saying this in general. Some companies say they'll only pay it if we get it. Okay, that's not detention. It needs to be guaranteed that if they don't get it, that's their problem. Okay, you need to get paid guaranteed detention. So if they say this is how much it is, that should be what you get. It isn't your problem that they can't collect it. Glenn says, I use a Rand McNally Overdrive 7 Pro. Only got stuck once. So would you recommend that? And how much is it? These things are getting kind of expensive too. Super Trucker, did I pin those flags on my shoulders? I have them. Everywhere I go, there's an American flag hanging. There's in my car, truck, everywhere. Kenneth, I also use Google Maps satellite view. I've been using Trucker Path as of late. Definitely better than Qualcomm route. Yeah, don't trust the route that your company gives you necessarily. Sometimes the directions are just written by somebody in the office that calls. Always check your directions. Trucker Hershey, satellite view. I also use the street view. You can even see the signs telling the truck engines. Isn't that great? I mean, I'm really amazed by the technology, because in my extreme upper 30s, as I am, we didn't have this technology when I started driving. You had to call and just hope for the best. Now, with all this technology, it makes trucking easier. I think trucking is easier now than it used to be because of stuff like that. I go driving around all over and never know where anything is. Robert Allen, when is the new hours of service to go into effect? Well, they're going to make an announcement on July 31st, and supposedly, and then 47 days of public comment. I don't know why it's that amount, but that's what it is. And then rulemaking. And so what they said is probably early 2020 at the earliest. That's what the FMCSA said. So that's what I'm going to hold here. That's what Martinez, who's the head of the FMCSA, probably looking at another 6 months before they change. James Faust, not want to change the subject, but you got to know how the CFI phone holder is doing. It is doing excellent. I forgot to grab it today. I was actually going to have it. I'll have it on the show next week. Matt B, keep the 11-hour drive rule, but the 14-hour rule is crap. So then what should we go to? What should be the new rule? Candy, what's the best way to study for your permit test? Reading the CDL manual to manual. Yes, and there you can go online and look at the questions. There's apparently a pool of questions, and read every question and answer so that you'll know the permit test. It's not that hard of a test, okay? So I don't want people to get stressed out about taking that permit test. It isn't hard. It's just basic information. You just do a little studying on it, and you won't have any problem. But there's tons of places where you can get that stuff for no charge. Steel Horse, when will they tell us the new hours of service? We're looking at July 31st, exactly. Do all these new trucks with the automatic transmissions prevent Georgia overdrive? No. In fact, they go into Georgia overdrive automatically when you go downhill. It says E right on it for economy, and it actually puts itself in neutral, and you just coast down the hill. Isn't that great? Does anybody have any idea what a Blue Parrot app is for to configure your headset? Yeah, the Blue Parrot app allows you to change the button, the parrot button on the side of the Blue Parrot. It's automatically set for mute, I believe, but you can go on the app and change what that button does on the side of your headset with the app. Kenneth, will I get paid more with Crete than I was getting from Sierra England? I don't know. What has Crete offered to pay you? And it depends what you're getting paid at England. Probably. What do I think about Stevens? They wouldn't talk to me. So I have had a driver on here that worked for Stevens that did well, but they wouldn't answer any of my questions, and that bothers me a lot, Part of me says get rid of the 14-hour rule, but the other part, days that would give companies room to mess with you. Exactly, Crumb Junkie. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And people that don't want the 14 hours, what do you want? I'm still waiting. What do you want? Melton or Maverick? Maverick. Detention is nice. You drove 400 miles and arrived to pick up the load. It wasn't ready for 12 hours. Yikes. You went in the sleeper, got paid $200 for sleeping, $200 for driving, $400 a day. Exactly. If you got paid for your time, 14 hours wouldn't be as big of a problem. That's an excellent day considering you only worked really half of it, right? Autonomous trucks would be like maximum overdrive? Yes. There's Thomas, they're supposed to keep the truck from overspeed, but it just had one fail, 75 into 65. Supposedly it's 5 miles an hour or whatever, and it hits the Jake on them, supposedly. Big Huge Mike, why do people want to get rid of the 14-hour rule? Are you trying to work more hours? I'm good with 14. That's what I'm saying. That seems like a long enough day. If you can't make money in 14 hours a day, you should go work somewhere else where you're making more money. That's more than half the day. Nathaniel, appreciate what I bring. You just subscribed. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here and subscribing. Chrome Junkie, don't bother lease purchase in California. They can still consider you a company driver. Yeah, some of the lease purchases, you're basically also an employee, basically. What they go independent, right? So you don't have to pay you benefits. GP Transco, on a random note, we're still waiting for 2 Tesla semis. Really? Did you order 2 Tesla semis? Can't decide which 2 drivers to give the Teslas to. Thoughts on the Tesla semi? Oh my God. If that is true, I totally want to come and see one. Please, when you get it in, please send me an email. I want to come and see the semi. I will do anything to come up there and see it. I would love to do a video about the semi as well if you'd allow it. But either way, I would love to see that semi when you're getting it. Holy moly. I'd love the idea of a Tesla semi. I'd love to see how it works. Plugging it in and everything. Are you going to have a plug at your place? I've got to be up there. I'm not that far from you. So we can make a day of it for that. I'll bring donuts for that, but to see that semi, I would love to see it. But I think that for local work, I mean, it's going to be great. You're going to have to, for what you do, to buy one of your local trucks, I guess. And if you can charge it there, I mean, it should save you a ton on fuel and maintenance. And the drivers to give it to, it's going to be somebody experienced and up on technology. That's how I would do it. It can't be somebody that's like, I don't even like cell phones. It can't be that person. It's somebody who's got to love technology. I'll do it. I want to drive them. I'm not going to be driving them. Should be a 12-hour day with 10-hour driving. The only way to overcome short pay is to take away availability. I've always said that, Brian. If people would work less, they will pay you more because they need more drivers, and it pushes the industry up to get drivers. You can't work more hours. That takes away the need for drivers. So not a fan. Justin, you used to work for Sierra England, so it was a mandatory thing that all trucks are going to be up to 65 or the working to 65 to pin the year of the truck, so it wasn't out of luck. Oh. Or, well, I know that guy, and it was 68 on my radar that the truck was going. K-Dub, I got offered a job to haul heavy equipment locally home every night. And we get paid more and free health insurance. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Free health insurance, home every day, more pay. All right. What are the downsides of that? Trucker Hershey, Tesla, are those electric? Yes, those are the new electric trucks. Totally 100% electric. Going to be really something. There's a ton of videos. There's one, it's a bobtail where he accelerates up a ramp. Holy mackerel. It was like it was shot out of a cannon. Chicago Container Central, but everyone wants to pay $10.99. Yeah, this for some reason the northern Chicago area especially is saturated with companies that $10.99 you. It's really sad. Michael, can you buy a refurbished GPS? I don't know. Maybe a pawn shop might be a place to get it. Used, maybe. They're not a super lot of money, but yeah. How about eBay? I'm serious. I mean, how about eBay? Super trucker, maybe they should extend the hours for prime and container drivers since the pay is crap and they can't get anywhere from the 55 mile. Prime drivers get 3 extra hours, and then they only do the same amount of work as everybody else. Glenn, I got a used one on Amazon for $350. All right. I've had Sirius through it as well. I didn't know Amazon had used stuff. Sea Hill, good afternoon, Markin drivers. Good day for trucking. Every day is a good day for trucking in Georgia or anywhere, right? Steve, what's the cheapest truck GPS? That's a good question for people. I don't have one, so I use Google Maps. Rena, if you purchase the lease and you're not just renting, be careful which companies you lease from if you go that route. If you can save $10,000, go to the dealership. I'd say, look, even for the same price, I think you go to the dealership because you get control of that asset. That's your biggest asset. Like people that were leasing from Falcon, this is a perfect example. We know just a few months ago they closed. Those people lost their trucks, okay, because Falcon didn't own that truck, and neither did you. A leasing company is the official owner of the truck. The truck goes back to the leasing company. The money you put in it, gone. So like, oh, that can't happen to Prime. It happened to Falcon. They've been open 90-some years. So it could happen to anybody at any company. And the smaller the place, the more likely it's going to happen. Google Maps is the cheapest GPS. Yeah, big, huge Mike. Yeah, that's way cheaper. Steve, Google Maps will have you in a tree. Well, don't hit it. Google has no truck routes. Agree. It takes some planning with it, but it doesn't cost anything. Jimmy, Schuster lets you plan your own routes and fuel stops. 4 times love points and 5 times pilot points. Because at Schuster, they're a company that thinks, all right, here's a driver we're just going to let them do their job. We're not going to bother, that they can't do, why should we do their job for them? They're letting you do your job on your own, the way it's supposed to be. Get a good map book and Google Maps and you'll be good for life. Yes. What do I think the new host will be? I'm not sure. Is somebody going to host my show? Oh, we could. That'd be great. Somebody could take over for that. If they set the speed limit at 65, you might have to work more hours. Well, that'd be great. They limit the hours and the speed limit all at the same time. Get rid of the 11-hour rule and keep 14 and make it so we decide how to use it in $35 an hour. Well, the government can't set your pay. You can set your pay, but that'd be good. But I'm not in favor of moving past 14 hours. All the questions on the test are worded exactly from the book. Yes, get the book and you won't have to look at it that much. Don't stress over it. New International is definitely going to Georgia overdrive. Engine brake won't even come on unless you ride the brakes. I don't understand, Amos. Maybe yours was having some kind of problem. Big, huge Mike. So if you're saying if you read the book, you'll pass the test, hopefully, right? Wendy says 10 driving, 10 on duty, not driving. So that would work out better. You would limit the day so that, a 10 total is what I'm saying here. We couldn't have 20, certainly. 10 hours on duty, not driving is a super long day. Hey, Truckers Coach TV, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Just trucking. Common sense must not be an American thing any more than the truck. Yeah, I don't understand. Look, this Walmart, come on, stop throwing stuff around. Charles Russell, if they set the speed limit at 65, they might have to work more hours. I wish more drivers would read the book. We'd have more knowledgeable drivers out there and less know-it-all drivers. Oh, that's something. Jimmy says Shoe Stress Pre-Pass Elite covers tolls and they reimburse parking. Oh, really? That's even better. There's a lot of companies doing that now, you'll find. And that's a good question to ask them as well. Do you reimburse tolls? Oh, somebody talked to me about that last week, and I wanted to put that out there as well. Do companies, how did I write that down right? Okay, so company is going to, do they have you install an app? They said there's a company, which I'm still looking into. They want you to install an app on your own personal phone so that they can see if you're texting or talking. I mean, really? Would anybody do that? Truckers Coach says some leases are 1099 employee with a truck note because they control your entire week. Oh, exactly. I mean, you're so right? I mean, some of these leases, you're just renting a truck from them as an employee. You pay their truck payment. They still control you the same as an employee. And at the end of the day, you come home with 75% of the money you would have had if you'd have just been an employee. They're crazy. I mean, buy your own truck and put it on. Do not rent a truck. Chrome Junkie, now you want donuts. Oh, yeah, we're bringing a box of donuts for that Tesla drive. The hours of service isn't the issue. We need more truck stops. We do need more parking. I mean, that's what they should solve. If people could park, you wouldn't have this problem. GP Transco, I'm invited to come and play with the Tesla. Oh my gosh, the new HQ. Oh, the HQ is going to have chargers. I'm in. I thank you for that. Email me when they're coming, and we will make a time, and I will be there, and we'll video all that. That is going to be a great day. Cannot wait to see a Tesla semi. Steel Horse says a misclassified 1099. Yeah, right, Truckers Coach. These people are just misclassified that in some of these leases as 1099 to save the company a ton of money. And they're just employees that are misclassified. Did anyone see where a driver was arrested for having 33 illegals? Yes. I saw that somebody was transporting 33 illegals in their trailer. Look, it's a reefer trailer, and they're the reefer off. Come on, people. If you're going to be a person smuggler, human smuggling, at least turn the reefer on for these people. You want your cargo to arrive safely. It was like 100 degrees in there. If hours are extended, shippers and receivers will go back to old habits. I agree. This is what I'm saying, Wham. If they go 17, 18, 20 hours, how many hours is your company going to want you to work? 20 hours. Somebody had this suggestion, and I wrote it down, that drivers, if they have 10 years experience and no tickets or accidents, they'd be considered a gold driver. I guess you get a star, but you wouldn't have any hours of service. That's what they wanted. No hours of service for 10-year drivers with no experience, with no tickets or accidents. Holy mackerel. I'm like, no way. That company, then you would have no way to refuse a load if you were tired, because the idea of refusal now is you have hours of service. Forget that. I thought, holy mackerel, they're going to have me drive 24 hours a day. If just trucking, even if they made trucks go 55, how much time do you lose compared to a 65? A lot. I understand that, the slower you go, the less you make. You need to average the highest if you're paid by the mile. You should average more, you'll make more. Less taxes and no FICA. Yeah, no workman's comp, no nothing. You eat all that. Health insurance, risk, and if you go broke, they just take the truck and you leave. Love it. You can buy a refurbished GPS from Rand McNally. I didn't know that. Amazon and eBay, you can buy all these refurbished ones. All right, plenty of places. Some need to pay attention on the road. Kenneth, Blackwell truck on US 97 decided to pass me on a hill. Love it. Don't worry about the hours of service. We need more truck stops. I think that parking, what if there were, 50,000 more parking places? That would certainly help. If the crap for 65 speed limit gets passed, you're quitting over the road. Well, that will encourage a lot of people to go local or regional or whatever so that they don't have to worry about getting their pay cut. C. Los, driving through Ohio right now, just saw hundreds of Amazon day cab tractors parked. Now, does it say Amazon Prime on the tractor? Because Prime Inc. will be all worried about that too. They'll be all concerned about everything. Let's change the 11 in 14 to 10 in 12. Oh, that's better, Cash King. The less I'm in, right. GPS on Amazon is $70 with a 7-inch truck friendly for 2 years. Okay, that's not bad. $70. Tax deductible, right? Leasing is in because of no credit check and zero down. That's why companies can make it so tasty. Yeah, but if you couldn't qualify otherwise, are you in any position to lease a truck? And they always push these leases to new drivers, like a couple months. Come on, they're just hosing these people. Rick, agreed, driving a cargo van over the road doesn't give you trucking experience, but it gives you a good idea of the lifestyle. That's true if you want to get in to know the country. All right, so I could see that side of it. No experience, but you will get to know the country, you'll get to know the roads better, and you'll get to see what it's like to live on the road. Prime only drove slow because owner-operators, the only way they can make money is to go under 60. But they're the only ones that do it. I would agree with that if it was every owner-operator, but I don't see every owner-operator doing it. It's just them. Rand McNally just made the Atlas. I'm sure that they're pretty accurate. I loved my old Rand McNally Motor Cares Road Atlas. I've got a Garmin 700 Bonnie Bay right now for $350, a couple months old. What's a Bonnie Bay? Polsky Motovlog with a check mark. I wonder how you get that. Seem to know GP Transco. What's your experience with these guys? I just look into companies, and I like GP Transco, and we've kept in touch. Sea Hill, Chrome Junkie, good news. If you run the I-85 corridor, Greenville to ATL, those will be opening a new truck stop. They're working on it. They can't open them fast enough. Wendy West, if we have to drive 65, so should the four-wheelers. If they actually would have said that, these two goober congressmen said, look, it's only safe when everybody goes the same speed, so everybody should go 65. At least then I could respect them, and I'm in for that. That would be great. But otherwise, no, no way. Truckers Coach Schneider has an app that controls you. I didn't know that. So besides household goods miles, they make an app. Now, this is a company. It's a Pennsylvania-based company. They put the app, they make you install it on your phone. And that way they can track if you're making calls or texting. Is that what, does Schneider do that too? What if you told Schneider that you don't have a phone? Ultra Hillbilly, eBay. What is it? Oh, okay, eBay. Yeah, Tabani Bay. I thought Botany Bay because I'm a big Star Trek fan. Only Star Trek fans will know that. Just Trucking. Nope, they will never tell me to put an app on your phone because you'll say you don't have one. Here's the thing. Who would install an app on their own phone from the company? No way, right? Where they get to track, they tell you we're tracking your phone calls and that. No way. And Schneider is doing, it makes you put it on your phone. It seems that Love's is the only brand opening more truck stops. Yeah, you don't hear about new Petros going in or anything, do you? Light Bright, thanks for being here. Great to see you. Yeah, bless you and everybody here. Thank you. Trucker Hershey, you saw an exit the other day, and there were two Loves across the street from each other. Good. Like the competing TAs in Ontario, right? Hopefully they were both free, though. Hurricane Express in Oklahoma, aren't they the ones that do the mileage lease? That place in Hurricane Express that has the, it's per mile or something like that, or $40 a day? Right. Any news on the driver that killed those people in Denver? James Faust. No, there's been no further information on that. Nothing more has happened on it, and the trial's later this year. Cash is king. I set the reefer to 70 when I'm home for illegal immigrants. Yeah, look, can we keep the air a little bit down here? I mean, come on. We're hauling people across the border. Come on, people. And what would the bill say for that? Human must maintain 72 or something. Wild Bill, maybe the guy hauling the illegals wanted an extra $3 from each one to run the reefer, and they couldn't cover it. Oh, that's possible. Sometimes they'll try to extract money. It really isn't that funny, I guess, although I'm making some fun of it. We shouldn't be smuggling people in a trailer, but if you're going to do that, can we run the reefer for these people? Come on. Many places like Pilot Flying J, I don't know why they always compete across the street. Of course, there's Starbucks across the street from each other. Where's this? Should be an interesting presentation. I hope so. I can handle 65 if the pay gets increased to accommodate what you may lose. And that would be a good discussion to have with your company. Hey, I need to get extra pay because you're reducing my speed. We need some cat photos for the blueprint breaks. Yes, that is true. I should get some of those up here too. 100 heat ain't nothing. They sit at a field. Well, 100 degrees is hot inside of a trailer for anybody, right? It's still people. Come on. Rena's checkmark means he is also, a verified YouTuber. Oh, how do you arrange that? What does that mean? Well, Bill is cocked, locked, and ready to rock. Love it. What is how do you get to be verified? You must be some bigger channel. Nice. I guess. No one, I've never heard of it, and I've never seen the check mark. That's what I'm saying. Limit trucks to 5 miles below the tire speed rating. Oh, but the safest thing, and I agree with you for that. The safest thing, though, is everybody goes the same speed. When we have interactions, that's when we have accidents. Passing is an interaction. Everybody needs to go the same speed. That's the solution for safety purposes. If that's what all these people wanted, that's what's safe. Trucking Dargan YouTube for Prime told me she goes 65 to 58 to save fuel. It does save fuel, but what I'm saying is I don't see other owner-operators going 55 all day. I'm not passing lines of owner-operators going 58 from all these other companies. It's only Prime. Cash is king, right? Somebody that would know. If the lease purchase sounds good to you, listen to Heart. Sounds after you buy health insurance, pay your own FICA and Social Security, and workman's comp. That's the thing. People that lease don't buy these things for themselves. They don't buy health insurance and all that. They don't realize what all this stuff costs. It's very expensive. Trucker's Coach says it is mandatory for the last Schneider driver you talk to. That is really something. That's really something. A big company like that, And I guess because they don't really recruit experienced drivers, there'd be no way I would install that. No way. That would be the end of the discussion. The company is not going to install an app on my phone to track me. No way. And that would be my recommendation for everybody. And that's not anywhere on their website, I'll tell you that. Kenneth, if certain people get their way with autonomous trucks, self-driving, then those truck stops will hurt too. Yeah, they won't need to stop. They'll just be autonomous fueling for places, and that's it. It's a long way. It's decades before we get any kind of large number of autonomous trucks. Believe me, it is decades away. These things don't even work when it rains. How many of you have this radar and it stops working when it's raining out? Oh, display blocked, right? Go clean it off. We need more parking, most near L.A. Every large city should have parking on inbound interstate routes. Huge parking lots that you could stage and get ready to go make your deliveries. Just Trucking, don't mention Prime in any way, shape, or form. You could end up in a lawsuit with Amazon. Yeah, look, we're saying Amazon in here. Do you mean Prime Inc.? Do you mean Amazon Prime? We don't know what you mean. It's so confusing. Mark the Rand McNally, Motor Carriers Road Atlas is the official map book of trucking answers. Yes. The paper one. I always bought a paper one. I never could get up the nerve to get the plastic one because I buy a new one every year. So Caleb says Love's just updated their app and you can reserve a shower. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Michael, TA and Petra and Flying J, they just buy mom and pop truck stops and convert them. Yes, some are converted. James, if a company wants stuff installed on my phone, they pay for the device. They can hand me a phone. I'll agree with that. Like company I drive for uses a phone-based ELD, gives you a cent per mile for phone usage. The electronic log on your phone is one thing, but installing an app, right, that monitors your calls and texts is a total nother thing. Forget that. Steel Horse, can you pre-order roller wieners? Oh my gosh. Is there a button you can touch? Oh, touch the wiener, it says. Touch there and it holds one for you. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. I will tell the company I can install the app because I have a Samsung flip phone purchased in 2001. Yeah, I'm sorry, my Motorola StarTAC doesn't take apps. Just Trucking, therefore, while I noticed Speedway was putting truck stops right across from TA and Love's, and that ended. What happened to Speedway truck stops? There's a few of them around, and they're like, forget this. We just can't handle it. I mean, did they see how much it cost to do that? Outdoor Hillbilly would be happy with 70. That's not bad. New Speedway is going up in Oakwood, Illinois, a Speedway truck stop. It's a convenience store Speedway. Keegan, good thing you got two phones. That's the thing of it. It's like all these other companies. Really, you shouldn't have. Now, maybe you need two phones, but you shouldn't have to get a second phone so that they can install an app on it. Installing an app on your personal phone, forget it. No way. Timothy, Prime is 58 pedal, 62 cruise for company. Lease are 62, 65. Wait a minute. I thought you're independent. You lease? And is this Prime or is this Prime, Amazon Prime? All right. This is Prime, New Prime, Inc. Right? If you're independent, why do they get to decide where what speed you go? Nomad, Amazon has refurbished GPS. 421, I missed a lot while you were unloading. Yeah, welcome back. Does the new Speedway have the cafe? Yeah, you were talking about that. That's super nice. Rena, you get more loads in when I'm able to run 70 to 73. Yes. And of course, saying yes, Schneider do have to have it downloaded. Trick is to put it on a device that you don't use, like an iPad. Yeah, or an extra phone. I agree. That's one way to do it, but you shouldn't have to do that. I mean, a company has no business in your phone. I can't install apps on their truck. For them to install an app on your phone, plus the household goods miles is enough for me, but that app on your phone, forget that. What's this Copilot? What about this Copilot tux like the airlines have? I don't know about that. Loves has just updated their app and you can buy a helmet. Oh my gosh. Is there a helmet button on there too? Can you reserve the helmet in case it's it goes with the rest of your set? Michael is from Germany. And the Autobahn speed for cars is however fast your car goes, right? And trucks are 50. In images, you're going 150 and 100 feet in front of you, you have a truck pulling out at 50. Yikes. Yikes. Aren't they supposed to stay right? But I thought everybody over there was a little bit better about doing that. 421, I like the fact that Pilot and Loves are building more truck stops, but I hate that they only have 50 spaces. They're expensive, right? I mean, look, the perfect example of this is going down I-69 south out of Indianapolis and picking it up down there in Bloomington and then heading south. There's nothing there. There's just trees. And did they build a rest area on it? No. Why isn't there a rest area with 1,000 parking places on the way up to Indianapolis? I have no idea. Love's app waiting to be able to add com data. Oh, yeah, they should do that too. I always wonder why they don't do that. Oh, Kyle Hoover, free super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. You turn your cruise off and on 3 times, then I'm turning it on, then set speed. That takes care of ever having to clean the sensor off. The thing is, will the truck be able to do that itself, I guess, in the rain? Walmart could make a killing if they started opening truck stops. Oh, I thought they already had them. It used to be that Walmart, was said, oh, the super centers trucks can park there. But then Sam Walton died and the whole place went to pot. There you go. You got to have a pre-2000 mobile phone. So that goes along with your pre-2000 truck. No ELD on the truck. No ELD on your phone, on your Motorola StarTAC. You could go buy a phone from like the cheap flea market or something for $4 and go, here's my phone right here. If the trucking industry goes autonomous, then the fingerless glove industry is doomed. What are these robots going to wear? They're not going to need autonomous. They're not going to need all the fingerless gloves. What are they going to have on? They're putting a Love's in by the Chicago North, and they just opened a Love's in Hampshire and building a new one on the Ohio Turnpike. They're all over the place. If you're on a dedicated run, a standing order for roller wieners, oh yeah, you'd want to have those, so they should just have them ready for you when you come in. I'll install the app if they pay more on my phone bill. Well, if Trucker's Coach is still here, do they pay anything towards the phone bill at Schneider? Do you know or not? You may or may not know. Some companies do pay part of your phone bill or whatever. So 67, just went through Schneider orientation. There's no app you were asked to install. I don't know. Outdoor Hillbilly, I'm a Love's truck stop man. Free coffee, free soda, and a better point system. Yeah, I like the Love's. Without trucking rates go up and down, the way I don't think self-driving trucks will happen, that technology will not be cheap. Yes, it'll be the large companies first, okay? And it'll be long distance, southern routes first. They'll replace teams first, and that's how it'll work to start with. And it'll go from there. and it will take decades to get it down. In poor taste humor, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Some Love's locations are just for cars. I've never seen a Love's that is cars only. James Faust, Walmart should get the greeter to stand in the parking lot to charge. Oh, yeah. Well, you don't want to have those greeters stand too long. Some of them are really old. Michael Muller, in Germany, we get a little better driver training for cars and trucks. And get your CDL, you have to do tires. Can't do class. Wow, need to start at the bottom with 7 and 5 ton. You have to do your own tires? 421, several states said that they couldn't afford to keep the rest areas open. So I doubt there would be a rest area with 1,000 spaces. Yeah, that's what it should be. The government can't go out and limit all the driving time and then not give you anywhere to park and gripe at you when there's nowhere for you to park. You know, they shouldn't be able to do that both ways. In the entrance, every interstate going into every major city should have parking, and then just randomly every 250 miles or so, every couple hundred miles, have a huge parking lot. Huge. It doesn't really cost them anything. How much does it cost to have people pick up pee bottles all day? I don't know. What's with the Texas drivers? I saw 5 major wrecks the other day, stuck behind 2 of them. Yikes. Come on, people in Texas. We need to go back to the nighttime lowered speed limit. Just Trucking, you have a 1990 Nokia phone, $900 if anybody needs it. You know, I have a bag phone. Here, that would be great to walk in with that. I go, well, this is what I use. How do I install an app on this? So Rena says they have discounts for Verizon at Schneider, but they don't pay. So that's kind of standard. Like where I work, we get a discount on all the different carriers, and a lot of them do that, but they're not paying you anything. So because the discount doesn't cost Schneider anything, they just sign up and they go, we'll tell the drivers about this, and Schneider, doesn't pay anything for it, so it's not really costing them. Look, I'll tell you, this app on your personal phone is a no-go for me. I don't know how many of you would be okay with it, but I'm out. All this talk about automation, how long before there's civil rights for robots? They're going to rise up and have their own unions. Ironically, they'd all stick together because they can all talk to each other. GP Transco is back. We recently had a driver leave the company to drive for Walmart, and they came back after 6 months. Exactly. She said it was more micromanaged than they expected. Exactly. I've talked about that. I have a video about Walmart. That's, they've changed a lot in the last few years. Years ago, Walmart was a premium company to work for, no doubt about it. To get in there, it was really tough to get in and stuff. Now they're running ads on the radio and everything, and the drivers, tons of drivers have done videos about this. You can only get 10-minute phone calls, you can only cameras facing out and all these other goofy things. It turned into a micromanaging nightmare. They think because they're advertising some kind of good pay that, that they can do that. And drivers don't like that. I want to just be left alone to drive. Let me do my job. I'll get the job done. I'm just not a fan of it. You have to wear a uniform there. You must wear their uniform shirt all the time. I don't like it. Oh, and the slip seating the truck, I'm out of that. For slip seating a sleeper truck, forget that. That's almost as bad as installing something on your phone. Who wants to slip seat a sleeper truck? But yeah, I've had people say that kind of thing, so I totally believe that, right? Walmart is not all it used to be cracked up to be. Leo, love the show. Can I do it every day? Your job goes by faster. Holy mackerel. Holy mac, can't quite get it done every day. There may be extra ones coming up here soon, but can't get it done every day. Irishman, late. You were the first one in. I wrote it down. Walmart has better food than truck stops. Well, that's true. What's with the driver recession? Well, I'm not on that side of it, on the driver recession side, because there are 4,300 jobs added in May, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's the best month since January. Freight is up 6% for the first 6 months of this year over the first 6 months of last year, and rates are up as well. In LA, they're up 14%. So I'm not in on the recession. I'm taking the other side of that argument. Michael Muller, there's a pilot on I-75 in Tennessee outside Knoxville that says no trucks. Nice. No trucks in the pilot. Send a picture of that. Kenneth, just like some waypoints, no parking allowed or need special permission. Why aren't the way stations opened at night too? And like Steel Horse said earlier, who's putting this out about the driver recession, or certainly probably behind it? The ATA, because if they can put out there in the news media that there's a trucking recession, they can pay you less. They go, well, we can't pay you more because it's a recession. So they're pushing that out to the media. But when we look at the government numbers, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that doesn't have any fight in this. They say that the jobs are up, that the best is parcel and logistics companies. DAT says rates are up and freight is up. So all the way around in the actual numbers, they're all up. Even if it takes 2 or 3 decades for autonomous trucks, young newcomers should be concerned. You may be in your 40s or 50s when they take over, something to consider. If you're very young, says General Motors, the mark of excellence, that is true. You know, if you're just getting started in it, you may see it start to take over as you begin to retire. But, you know, the way to solve that is to be on top of it. You know, work for places that they're doing that and work with them. So because they're going to need to transition, you know, into autonomous. So be part of the change. It's coming. It will be coming. Be part of it. Don't try to fight it. It's coming. Just be part of it. Michael, I meant you have to make the CDL in stages starting with 7.5 ton, that box truck with trailer and on so you can get your combination. So at least they have better training. Here you just basically have to do whatever. 421, when you drive for Walmart, the store will be your truck stop because they really don't want the truck at a pilot. That's okay. They're usually open at night and there's a good selection of products. So, I mean, so at least that side of it. But the micromanaging, the slip seating, a sleeper truck, I mean, no way. Not unless I got a new mattress every time. Just Trucking, I will say they have found a way to track older phones. They have you call a number and it tracks you even after you hang up because I tried. I only had an old flip phone on a broker, so it didn't work. Oh, holy mackerel. There's no way they're going to track my bag phone. Candy, yeah, exactly, on the app. You're just going to go on that app, touch the wiener, bingo. They hold their wiener for you. Trucking jargon. Only 6 10-minute phone calls went in the truck. Exactly. Is that ridiculous? If they're saying phone calls are unsafe, then they should ban phone calls. But to say they're unsafe most of the time, no way. You know, I don't like that kind of micromanagement. I would have a policy, look, you got to wear a headset. You cannot hold the phone, which is the law. Put on a Blue Parrot headset and make calls. That's it. Kyle says force shippers and receivers to allow parking. The problem is who can force them to allow parking? No one. That's the problem of it, right? Tina says there should be parking with a restroom. Yes, exactly. Like the Kentucky Scales. A lot of those are open. You could park there. They have a restroom all night. Exactly. Irishman had to get off and back on, so you missed some of the show, but I did write down that you were the first one. For anybody watching the show, since Mark is $5 today, he can just run Lightbrook. Yes, that would be appreciated, right? But I never asked for that. The show, of course, is always free for everybody, so I don't want to seem like I'm asking for that. Mild Bill, hey, Mark, you should take a Monday off work and do an extended show. Oh, that'd be great. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Yes, I'll call work and just take the day off. Trucking jargon, some of the Pilot Express are for four-wheelers. I've never seen a Pilot Express. I wonder if you get points. GP Transco, agree on no driver shortage. What we do see is a surplus of actual trucks. You know, owner-operators and companies buy tons of trucks when the market is up, and when it goes down, struggle to utilize them. That's ironic. I was reading an article about that today, that last year there was a ton of orders because freight was so good, and they're still actually working on a backlog of orders. And now there's sort of excess capacity of large trucks. And so orders are down because so many people bought new trucks last year. And so people are saying, well, orders are down. This is bad. Well, no, they bought so many of them. They last a long time. So that is why the orders are down. Exactly right. People buy it and think, oh, it's going to be great forever. No. 421, Walmart started changing in 2007 when Helen died. And in 2016, several moves were made to help save the company some money. Exactly. So the hatchet man started running older drivers off for younger ones. And that's what happened in the last few years. A lot of the older drivers there that had been there for a while retired or left. And these new people don't make the same money. They have all these different rules and regulations. It isn't the company that it used to be. You know, years ago, it was a premium company that people wanted to get in. Now, if they got to run ads like Swift and everybody else, it can't be that great of a place. Because if you got to run a ton of ads, how great of a place is it? Marina, speaking of young, how do I feel about 18-year-olds driving trucks? I think most of them won't do it. And what I'm concerned about, I don't mind them driving as much as I'm concerned that companies will take advantage of them. They're not going to pay them as much. And that pushes the whole pay of the entire industry down. If they're trained and can pass the test, I mean, they can fly a plane or whatever, so, and serve in the military, as people say, so they could certainly drive a truck. It isn't like it's super complicated beyond what they would do in the military. but they're going to be taken advantage of, and that's the problem. They'll be run up and run out of, by the time they're 21, they'll be out of the industry. Most of them won't stay in. It's going to be horrible that way. Jimmy, shippers and receivers should allow parking. They should allow parking. I agree with that. They should. Robots can't tarp. No, they can't tarp, but they've already solved that because they're going to have people tarping. It will be tarped, and then the robot truck will drive it on the rest of the way. That's what they said they're going to do. James Faust, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very much appreciated. Kyle, my uncle sets up tooling for Freightliner plants in Mexico. Nice. He says autonomous in 8 to 10 years. No way. Based on what he's putting in the factories. Here's the thing. These autonomous, where are they testing them? Dallas to Phoenix was the last test they did. It's for Starsky. They hauled the mail across there. Why? It's dry and sunny. Okay, I want to see the first autonomous truck cruise across North Dakota and see in a snowstorm. No way. Just Trucking, I'll drop a jewel. If you talk to a manager at most Dollar Generals, they'll let you take a 10-hour break there, especially ones in the country. That's not bad either. I will tell you the one here downtown, for some reason, I usually see a U.S. Express truck parked in there hauling a Dollar General trailer. So, a couple times a week. Nice. What is with the people in Walmart? You're on a 5.5 and they are feeding us pizza. Oh, well, Super Trucker, that is something. I don't like all the goofy rules, and I will not slip seat a sleeper truck that I have to sleep in. If I'm sleeping in, I'm not slip seating that truck. That should be my assigned truck. It's one of the only places, by the way, that I've ever found that slip seats your sleeper truck. It's just a money-saving, cost-cutting thing, so I'm not a huge fan of that. We just need to start refusing to pick up at customers that have no bathrooms for truckers. They can't for everybody. That's true. Why do places not have a bathroom for drivers to use? That's ridiculous. They have a bathroom for the people in there. You tell them, well, I have to leave because I'm going to have to go to the bathroom somewhere. TJ Jones and the Bull of the Woods. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you here today. Trucker Hershey, I think the Memorial Day show was 5 hours. It was longer. It fell on a Monday this year, so yes. Truckers Coach has made a video of the trucking recession is happening. Okay, I didn't see it. I was here. But, we can still be friends and disagree. But based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers and DAT load rate numbers and loads, which are up 6%, year over year, I'm not on the recession side of it. But that doesn't mean we're not friends or can't agree on some stuff. There's no driver shortage, comfortable man. There is a driver retention, yes. Problems are created by the trucking companies treating their drivers horribly. Yes, they treat their drivers poorly, can't get people, and it's a circle that they can't solve. They're creating the problem that they want solved, which they could all solve themselves. Big Huge Mike, it's that time for me to listen and get ready for work. Oh, thank you. Be safe, and hopefully you can catch the next one. Make sure to thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that, and thanks for being here. Walmart used to have a $55,000 a year guarantee. They do pay more than that now, okay? There's no question that it pays pretty good. No one has really said that it doesn't pay good, even Walmart. But, do you want to be micromanaged? Is the money worth slip seating a sleeper and 6-10-minute calls? Because, look, other people tell on you when they see you wearing a phone and stuff. It creates a bad, a low morale problem. When they've run all the older people off, it's just not a place I'm going to be interested in. No driver shortage. There's plenty of CDL holders and more every year, says AZ. Yeah, the government says they put out 300,000 to 400,000 new CDLs a year. There's plenty of drivers. They get run off by these companies that make them sit, don't pay them anything, make them slip seat a sleeper and treat them poorly. A road less traveled. I'd like to see the automatic truck come to New York City. Exactly. How long before it's going to be able to cruise around in New York City? We can barely get around down there. That truck, no way. And it's because the truck has to follow the rules. That's the problem. Those trucks are made to follow the rules. But you can't drive around New York City and follow the rules, right? You just can't. So that truck is going to have a real problem with that kind of stuff. It has to be able to think. And remember, once it can think, it'll just murder all of us. Will the robot get the ticket for unsafe load when he doesn't stop and check his load every 100 miles? No, I'm sure they'll have an exemption for that. And they stopped that. You don't have to get out and check even your hazmat loads like that anymore. They stopped that quite some time ago. 421, to drive for Walmart, they required 10 years of accident ticket-free experience. And the interview was a panel of drivers. Now it's 30 months with one ticket. Well, that's still more than most. But when they have to run ads, they're not that great of a place. Comfortable man, I'd like to see them haul a load in Texas when it's raining. Yeah, you can't see anything. They picked the time of year and the route that was the best case for them to show, oh, look how great it is. Charles, NFI and Salson slip seat sleepers. Do you have to sleep in them? I know NFI in Lebanon, Indiana runs an ad, which is not far from me. I see it all the time, for drivers that are home every day. Are you sleeping in the truck? I would slip seat a sleeper if I didn't have to sleep in it. SC, I work at Schneider as an owner-operator and don't have a tracking app. The app, it's voluntary and it's to search for loads. So what about company drivers at Schneider? Do they have to download an app there? And so searching for loads, that would be okay, but does it track your phone? Michael, how about robot truck? Check the load to see if the load securement is loose on a flatbed. Yeah, it's not going to be able to do that. I have cameras back there. But, I guess theoretically could have some kind of sensor that could determine the pull on the strap. So if it got loose, I guess it would pull over and call a robot strapper to come out there and strap itself down. Rena, autonomous trucks in New York and City and Chicago traffic. You're nervous. Yeah. It's bad enough now. Imagine with trucks that are autonomous that have to follow the rules. When it turns a corner, it has to follow the rules. So it's going to wait until it's clear, not just go over the line like everybody else would. Kenneth, imagine all the bugs that plaque our windshields. Those autonomous trucks will get blind. Presumably, they could run their wipers. And I assume they'll have some kind of thing to clean these sensors off. Heck, some cars, Volvo, Mercedes, they clean their headlights off. GP Transco, 55 isn't great. I agree. That was some time ago. More companies need to have a minimum pay of 70. Whoo! Assuming drivers are doing the work. Yeah, that would be better, right? It's all about controlling transportation costs. Yes, it would. Humans are a large part of their cost. I can already see the autonomous robot complaining on the chat. Oh, yeah, it would be a robot, Mark, would be doing the show. But then the show could be 24 hours a day. Customers claim truckers can't use the restroom because they leave it nasty. Or their favorite excuse is you don't have a hard hat and steel-toed shoes, so you can't come in our facility. Well, I do wear steel-toed shoes, and I guess I could get a hard. I think you should probably have one if you went to a lot of different places. But, there's no excuse for that. To be treated like that, like, what is their answer? Go outside? I mean, because that's probably what happens there, I'm sure. So I'd say, should I just go outside or, what should happen? I mean, remember, it's Taco Tuesday. I mean, this is not like we're going to have a long conversation about this. You should tell somebody needs to do that tomorrow at one of these places. Say, hey, it's Taco Tuesday and we don't have a lot of time for a conversation about this. Oh my gosh, I got to know what they say about that. Timothy, I'd like to see autonomous trucks drive I-70 or 80 over the Appalachians in rain or snowstorm. Let it cross Wyoming. Yeah, exactly. Let them grow 70. Let them chain. Of course, where they can chain up. That's going to be the problem. That's what's taking so long. It is a long time before they're going to go in any kind of bad weather and make it. Rena, no bathrooms. You run into that all the time. One told me most truckers just go around the building. Oh, great. Tell them, yeah, okay, I'll just go around the building. No. Oh, and I can't believe they allow that. Just go around the building? What kind of place is it? Don't tell me it's food. Don't tell me it's food service. That is not acceptable. It just is not acceptable. Somebody needs to start a channel with that to expose that. Comfortable man, I will not sleep in a truck that's being slip seated. That's just nasty. I agree. If they're slip seating a sleeper, I'm out. Sam just got off home time and waiting for load in Denver. Oh, all right. Well, thanks for being here today. Just trucking. I keep hearing that robots are taking over eventually. Now I want to see the new Terminator movie, which will thank you for the robots are taking over comments. Yes. Eventually, look, there's no question that there's going to be autonomous trucks. No question. People are very annoying to companies. We cost them money. We need days off and we get holidays. The autonomous trucks could have driven over the holidays. So it's coming. But it's decades. Irishman, 6 10-minute calls. What's next? A tattoo and haircut policy? Maybe you must clean your truck before home time. Sounds like TMC. Exactly. I think at TMC you can use your phone. But look, all these companies that have these stupid policies that are not related to anything or just micromanaging your day. If phone calls are unsafe, then they're unsafe completely, not 60 minutes are safe. Okay, so then that policy, so that doesn't make sense, that policy. And I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense. All OTR companies slip seat the trucks. That's because they can't give a driver. Well, yeah, but you get a new mattress. And if you don't, that's one thing you should ask for. I want a new mattress in the plastic, not one that they just pull out of another truck that's got, chalk marks on it in the shape of a body like this. You don't want that mattress, or yellow tape on it. James, let's see the autonomous trucks run Wyoming a week in February. Exactly. They'll all be parked. All their sensors are blocked. What happens if a bird hits the sensor and knocks it off? You've seen the trucks with all these sensor things and lights around them. No way. Kyle, my company in Michigan, drivers make $79,000 4 days a week. Not bad. You can't find anyone to drive for you at home every day, and you can't find people to drive for you. That's really, really good. They need to advertise that. I mean, how do they not find people to come and drive? James Faust, would a robot truck get booted at Walmart? No. You know why? It doesn't have to stop. As soon as it delivers, it leaves. No. So no, it would keep on going. 421, I hear it's hard to find drivers in Denver that could pass a drug test. That's going to be the problem in some of these states. Remember, you cannot go smoking, in these states where it's legal, because you're going to get busted. It's still federally illegal to smoke marijuana or anything. Don't do it. Do not do it. Robots get serviced when the truck gets serviced at the same time. Oh, yeah, they have their PM scheduled the same, kind of like they do with the APUs, which they won't need anymore. The 5G grid is being set up for robot trucking. Yeah, and cars too. It'll help with that, certainly. They're going to come. I'm certain of it. Young people should be on the cutting edge of the technology. Don't say, oh, this is horrible or whatever. Get involved in it so that you can keep your job your whole career. Mad Mal, do you see the news story about how dangerous truck drivers are always texting and driving? The videos they have are 20-foot box trucks or truck, pickup truck or something. This truck driver, that's not a truck driver. Michael, robot trucks are never going to happen. I think they will come. I think they're going to drive themselves, certainly. No bathroom equals pigs in the parking lot. Yeah, well, okay, I read that wrong. I guess I'll just leave that right there. But yeah, and look, that's gross, and people shouldn't have to do that. Why can't there be a facility for people? We had a lady on here. What is she supposed to go do? Go run the building? Come on, people. And then we wonder why women don't want to come into trucking when this is the kind of thing that they have to deal with. Nobody, a woman or anybody, should have to deal with that kind of thing. Come on, there's just a bathroom. It's a simple thing. Herwood the Watchful. I once did something in a garbage can at a customer's facility. I mean, hopefully it wasn't the one like right next to the shipping. I picture it's the garbage can right next to the shipping office where you're getting your paperwork. They're like, hey, Herwood the Watchful, what are you doing there? Oh, nothing. It's Taco Tuesday. Holy mackerel. 421. If a trucker asks to use the restroom, most of the time you're diverted to a porta potty that hasn't been cleaned in a while and doesn't have hand sanitizer. I guess that's better than, hey, go around the building, but only slightly. Rena, Schneider will fire you if you're caught using a blue parrot. Don't want you on the phone at all. Well, at least, look, that's horrible, but at least that policy is legit where they're saying we think a phone call is unsafe, so you can't be on the phone. They can't do this Walmart, sleight of hand where a phone call's unsafe, but it's not unsafe if we call you. And how do they fire you? Or do they have a camera in the truck? Or does somebody tell on you? Brooks and Oklahoma DOT I-40 eastbound out of Texas is pulling everyone in. Oh, you get to talk to the DOT people. Bring them donuts. Sam, a company called Automato, right? I've seen Auto, was testing self-driving along I-25 a couple years ago. Yeah, they brought beer down and stuff. Yes, because it's an easy run down 25, right? Trucker Hershey, the next road check. Yes, I did write that down, which I have forgotten about it. July 14th to 20th is the next blitz. July 14th through 20 will be a speeding and dangerous driving blitz where they'll also be checking for seatbelts. So that's the 14th through 20th, next week basically. Get ready for that. Stop speeding and dangerous driving during that week. Mad Maldy, I asked my guy in the shop. He's pretty cool. The workhorse, I asked, y'all give a new mattress for guys? He pointed to the top shelf, all full of new mattresses. Good. That's the way it should be. Get a new mattress, new truck. Absolutely. It's a slight cost for the company, but that's what you have to do to keep people. pull a Bill Clinton. I smoked, but I didn't inhale. If that worked for him, you can try that. What will become of roller wieners when robots are driving? There will be metal. They will be metal, and with WD-40 instead of mustard. Maybe the next best career besides trucking is become a tractor and trailer mechanic. Yeah, certainly you'd have to be a mechanic that keeps up on technology, because imagine the technology in these trucks. They still have to be fixed, but that's agree. But if that's something you want to do, I don't think I'd like doing it. Every time you go to Denver, you get a random, exactly, Rena. You're like, hey, why don't you go in here? Right. Mad Maldy, you watch that show on Weather Channel. I'm not allowed to drive during winter now. Right, if they only knew what we had to go through. I tell people that's when we make most of our money, which is in the wintertime. 421, I've learned the more a company pays, the more rules they have, or they micromanage you. 85 and up is decent, but if you got to walk a tightrope, the micromanagement is horrible. I'd rather make a lot less and have them leave me alone than to take extra money to be micromanaged like Walmart. 6-10-minute calls is ridiculous. What's a robot truck going to do when the springs crack and a light blows out? Probably they'll have to pull over and they'll send some kind of message back, and the robot emergency fix truck will come out and fix it. I'm serious. I mean, I assume that's what it's probably made to pull over and wait. James, I originally started university for software engineering. Nice, but it's become such a liability to be in that industry too that I don't know how going back is worth it. Well, I guess you could software engineer the trucks. I mean, you could combine the two, because somebody's got to write all the code to get these trucks down the road. Oh, that rhymed too. Roller bolts. That's a good one. I should have thought of that. El Rumor, will it be a slap in the face if we have to team up with a robot to show them the ropes? Oh my gosh, you're going to have to train your replacement. What if he's the trainer? Or she, or whatever it is? Because the thing is, when you go to sleep, it'll turn around and kill you. Comfortable man. Mark, I beg to differ. You saw a driver driving up I-75 north of Atlanta 6 months ago watching a porn video on a tablet. Nice. That's what you call, multitasking. Holy mackerel. Listen, all over the road drivers have spare Walmart bags in the back. Well, for emergencies. Rena, the best way to keep heavy-duty bags of kitty litter in the truck. Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that, right? I mean, if you go into a place, they shouldn't say, hey, why don't you go around the building? What kind of thing is that to say? Holy moly. Walmart checks your phone records to make sure you don't violate their phone rules. I agree. They have a policy that you sign for that says they can check your phone records whenever they want. And so you have to give them your phone records, and they get to look at your phone records, and I don't like it. There are a lot of snitches within the company, Rena. Yeah, it has happened at Walmart, and there apparently as well. People will tell on each other because they feel like it's going to get them bonus points or something. This is not a safety thing that you need to tell on somebody. If somebody at your company is drunk or whatever, absolutely you go in and tell on them. There's nothing wrong with that. But this kind of stupid stuff, come on, people. What are we, 9 years old? If I meet the hiring criteria and have years of experience, just give me my load and let me drive. Exactly. Don't tell me how fast, how far you need to be from the car. Yes, drivers that are experienced drivers that have a good record, the company should just leave you alone. And that's why they hire you, because you have experience. Let you do your job. If they want to drive the truck from the office, let them come and drive it. Nathan, you signed a Walmart policy stating that you'll give Walmart your cell phone records when asked. Yes. And I did a video about that and said, among other things, that's another reason I would never work there. And a couple Walmart drivers wrote to me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong with that. I said, okay, enjoy giving them your phone records. I'm not doing it. It's my phone. I'll call whoever I want. They can look on there and see, what if you called another company for a job? What if you called a psychiatrist for help with whatever, you might be having or something? What if you called a drug treatment center, but it was for a friend or something like that, and they see that on there? You never know what they'll see on that phone record, and it isn't any of their business, because you have to give them your phone record. You don't get to, black out like the government puts the black blocks on stuff. You have to give them your phone record. It isn't right. It's none of their business who I called on my phone. Michael, I'll be on vacation next week. We will miss you next week, but enjoy your vacation in the Bahamas. Almond, who's doing seatbelt trucks. There is, from July 14th to 20th, there's going to be a speeding and dangerous driving blitz from the DOT, and they'll be also checking for seatbelts. which sometimes they stand on overpasses. I've seen videos of this with binoculars, and they have a chase car down below. Rena, I drove alone all last year so your husband could go to diesel and heavy equipment school. Definitely worth it. He did his first PM and saved $300. Yeah, if that's something he likes, great. I'm just saying I don't think I would like it. I think people should all do what they like. But there's $300. He's going to get his school money back just from doing PMs. Well, Bill, will cell phone service be eliminated when robots take over? No, they have to talk to each other. Because in case they find one of us hiding somewhere, they need to put the message out. England, 3-bunk truck with 2 robots and 1 human. Oh, that's how would that go? 421, you asked how Walmart could find out about stuff? Well, most of the drivers will snitch on you. Nice. About the second phone, how would they know you have a second phone? Or other things, if you mention, you say it, and then they go tell somebody? Well, I'd say to the company, I don't know what he's talking about. That's crazy. I mean, if a place is like that where everybody, snitches on everybody over a phone or something, who wants to work there? Who wants to work at a kind of place like that? Trucking, darn, get a dummy phone you never use. I agree, but I don't think you should have to do that. How about leave my phone alone? I'll call whoever I want. How about that? Rumor, can you give a picture of an automatic robot getting pulled over? By an automated police car. Dennis, planes and drones and helicopters can fly without pilots. For most of the time, yes. But a robot truck isn't going to be able to make it from Joplin to St. Louis. I disagree. I think it's happening sooner. No way. Because I already know the radar doesn't work when it snows. The technology that they put into an airplane, which is very super expensive, is not what they're putting in trucks. And there's a lot of things that they can't control on the ground that they can control in the air by air traffic control and stuff like that. Where on the ground, there's way too many things for them that are out of their control. And that's the problem of driving versus, basically the autopilot on a plane. Thoughts on drivers refusing to use TransFlow on high-value loads, says GP Transco. Well, I don't know. Why would they refuse to use it? I mean, use TransFlow on high-value loads? If they're a company driver, I don't see what the problem, why wouldn't they want to use TransFlow? It was always easy. I guess I don't understand why they wouldn't use it. Trucker Hershey on overpasses. Yeah, I've seen them on overpasses. I've seen pictures with binoculars, and then they call their buddy down below, and he goes and pulls you over. Michael, the more tech they put on trucks, the less drivers pay attention. That's true. That's been way true in cars because they start relying on their onboard radar, hopes it works, and don't hit anything. They talked about this in cars, that the more of this stuff they put in cars, the less people are paying attention, and there are more small accidents they get into, like in parking lots, when they're relying on these sensors rather than driving their cars. Most Walmart drivers are drunk off the company Kool-Aid. That's at a lot of companies. And that's because it's the first company they've ever drove for that paid decent. They have no idea there are offers that pay the same or more. Yeah, Walmart drivers can get that money elsewhere. It's not like it's the best pay in the whole world and be treated way better. But this kind of goofy, this guy's going to tell me I better not talk to him. Come on, people. This isn't middle school. Joshua, coming in super late. If somebody's not super unsafe or drunk, leave them alone. Joe, I constantly see four-wheelers guilty of distracted driving. Yeah, there's a lot of drivers that do that all the way around. Ignorant Sniper, how long have I been a trucker? This is year 31. July is 31 years for driving for me. James, the next blitz means I'll have to wear my seatbelt next week. Or you can get that T-shirt that's got that stripe on it. So, you can just do that, which I've seen. And that blitz is July 14th to 20th. We're speeding and dangerous driving. Joshua is stopped for fuel and to do a dirty 30. Well, Bill, won't robots communicate on a different level? Telepathy? No, they'll have to use the cell phone network. They don't have brains. It's kind of like CEOs of a lot of companies. Rodney, what will robots haul if nobody has money to buy the product? That's the question, isn't it? Eventually, there'll just be robots that presumably haul stuff for other robots. Froderick Frankenstein, I love it, right? Any other company paying like Walmart? Yeah, there's companies. I'm weighing a career change. Walmart has to be my final destination. The high pay is persuasive. That's the thing. Is the high pay worth all this other, garbage that they're going to put you through? There's tons of places that pay in Walmart pay range. I went to trade school for diesel technology a couple of years ago as a backup plan. So you could do either one. You may have to do that eventually, depending how old you are. Trucker Hershey, you're not transflowing until after delivery, so why not? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what the problem. Why wouldn't you transflow? What do drivers are like? No, give me that envelope. I want to put that in the mailbox. When I went through one of those overpass checks, 5 miles an hour over and wasn't pulled over. You weren't over enough. 421. I do see our economy going down though. Ford and GM are laying off. Retailers are closing. Auto sales are going down. Home sales are dropping. Yikes! The whole world is collapsing. Now's the time to get out of debt. Yikes. The world is going down the toilet. Wild Bill, Joshua, if you can't make it on time, you should quit your job. I do agree. Everyone should quit to be here on Monday. Matt and Maldy, I was in my four-wheeler, and a car made a no-look lane change, almost sideswiped me. Lucky you're like a cat, because they're not paying attention. They think their sensors or whatever will handle that. Comfortable man, Mark, radar on a truck in excellent weather doesn't work at times. My former truck applied the brakes in dry weather for no reason. Yes, you've talked about this in the past. Yeah, sometimes it sees a sign. Sometimes there's nothing. It just puts the brakes on. It doesn't make any sense. And there's no way I trust that thing to drive a truck around yet. Ignorant Sniper, how does home time work working for an over-the-road company that's in another state that you live in? It depends on the company. Each company has their own home time policy. So some are 7, 14, whatever it is. They each have their own policy. Cash is King, Transflap has tracking for loads now. Okay, so we're saying the company driver doesn't want it. I think the company should provide a equipment to be tracked, certainly. Orgill, Airgas, R&L, Old Dominion all pay decent money. Exactly. They're all going to pay Walmart money or better, and because Old Dominion is the highest pay that I've ever had a driver write into me and see at $136,000 a year with checks. That's the highest pay anyone has ever written into me where they proved it right. So what do we think about this hours of service? That was the question I had earlier. If people want to change this hours of service higher, where we want to go over 14 hours a day, how many hours a day, do we want to go over 14 hours? That seems a little bit crazy to me. I don't want to work more than 14 hours in a day. I think if you can't work 14 hours a day and make a decent living, that maybe you're not being paid properly for what you're doing. 14 hours a day is already more than half of the day. That's more than most people in the United States work, and we do it for very little money. So maybe that what you should look at is what you're being paid, not really that we want to work more, but that we should get paid more. And that's what I try to encourage people. Try to make more money, not work more, because you're still making $12 an hour for all these hours that you work. That isn't any good. What is the life expectancy of a robot? Yeah, well, it won't matter because we'll all be murdered by them. But presumably they will last, as much as a car, a few years. GP Transco, even as a competitor, we can say that Old Dominion is a solid company to work for. Yeah, I've had tons of people write in about it that like working there at Old Dominion, and it is the highest pay that anybody's written to me. That doesn't mean that's the highest pay ever. That's just of the people that have written to me. So if this TransFlow, GP Transco, since you asked, is because they have to be tracked, then I think that the company, if it's a company driver, should be the one to provide equipment that is being tracked, because I don't want my phone to be tracked personally by the company. Sam, I work for a company that's in a different state than where I live. They work with me to get you home, and you're usually home early. Yeah, it just depends. Each company has its own policy on that. And a tablet that could be tracked is like $50 or whatever. They're not expensive. Trucker Hershey, depends. Is the robot in here an electrostatic discharge? Yeah, we can EMP those robots right offline, although they'll probably be hardened for that kind of thing. Comfortable man, over 14 hours a day, that's crazy. Drivers should only have to work 8 hours a day, just like everyone else. Well, because of the hours of service change, they surveyed drivers, and the number one thing, which was actually just a plurality of 41% of the drivers, was they want more hours in a day so that they can be flexible, but they wanted extra hours in the day to do that. And I was like, no, that's certainly not the answer, because some of them said that at 14 hours a day, they were not making, a living. They couldn't make a living working 14 hours a day. And I'm thinking, where these people work, where you can't work more than half the day and not make any money? I don't understand it. Or what do they have, an $8,000 house payment? 421. Never understood over-the-road companies that claim local work equals no experience. When I got laid off years back, a few over-the-road companies said you would have to work elsewhere for a year before you could come to work for them. It just depends. You know, some local companies will put you in with no experience now, and then some road ones, each one has its own policies. You know what I'm saying? James, for hours of service, you want a 14-hour shift max, 10 required, 74-hour work week. That's a little few more. That gives you 6 full days before you would run out. That's still a long week, but okay, say we go to that. Don't you think you should be able to make a living in 74 hours a week? I mean, if you can't provide a living in 74 hours, it is time to look around. There's tons of places that are hiring. Wild Bill, will robots be replaced by the next generation of robots? Series 100 replaced by Series 200? Absolutely. You know, and the new ones will take over, and then the old ones will just be put out to pasture. They'll get robot unemployment insurance. Ignorant Sniper, do you have to drive your truck home? Again, that depends on the company. Some will let you take the truck home. Some will not let you take the truck home. And personally, for me, I don't want to take the truck home. Why? I don't want the responsibility of having $100 and some $1,000 plus of equipment, truck and trailer in my driveway. So wherever the company is, I try to work close by so that I can leave it there and let them worry about it when I'm not in it, rather than it sitting here. If something happened to it, they'll say, well, why didn't you park it somewhere else, or why didn't you do this? I don't want the responsibility of it. Let them handle it. Plus, if it's at work while you're at home, they can work on it if there's a problem with it and get it fixed for you to get ready to go when you leave again. Joe, what is the mean time between failure would be more important for robots? Oh, yeah. Oh, the mean time. Right. Robots would be able to figure all that out. Comical Trucker, good afternoon. Was out trying to find a Walmart you could park at. Did you find one? Are you being barnacled? That thing on the front of the windshield is called a barnacle, by the way. GP Transco. We actually think local drivers need certain skills that require higher experience. Yeah, some want, you're right. We only give local jobs to experienced drivers who want to do it. Well, of course, where you are, too, those local drivers have got to run around Chicago all day. So with the bridge map and everything, if they still have that. So those local drivers are going to need way more experience than some local driver in Cheyenne. But absolutely right. Comfortable Man, 40-hour week was enough for any trucking company. Look, really, 74 hours should give you almost 2 times the pay, really, right? Let's go back to the 10 and 8 rule. But when we did that, we could split the sleeper berth up and extend the day. Would that be okay too? Trucker Daddy, they want more hours of service to make more. I don't want to be run ragged. It's an excuse for my boss to abuse me. Been there, don't want it. Right. Some people said, experienced drivers shouldn't have any hours of service regulations. They should just know when to sleep. And I thought, your company will give you a load that's 1,000 miles, and they'll say, go deliver it. And you won't be able to say, well, I don't have the hours, because it won't matter. It wouldn't make any difference. You have the hours. No way would I be interested in working 24 hours a day. Sam, you park your truck 200 feet from your house so you can see it all the time. Look, I'm just saying, for me, I don't want the truck at home. I don't want the responsibility, and they can fix it when I'm not there. So if you leave it at work and say, okay, these 3 things are wrong or whatever, they can be fixed before you get back. That's all I'm saying. So I don't want to bring it home. 421 local requires more skill backing. Yeah, you might have way more stops every day, right? Comical Trucker, you're at the local Walmart trying to buy new boots. Did you find any? Michael getting passed by Prime at 68. What's up with that? I didn't know any of them could go that fast. Local is all about backing. Exactly. These low-life companies will try to sue your homeowner's insurance if something happens to their truck. Oh, I never thought about that. But they might try to make a claim and say, well, your homeowners are going to have to pay for our truck. It's possible, certainly. Will there be lazy robots trying to get hurt? Do they collect robot workers' comp? The robots, oh, my joint. Holy moly, my joint got broken. My bolts. You hit me right in my bolts. Trucking Target, I think we could get overtime for anything over 40 like the rest of the people. Yes. Truck drivers should be paid by the hour and get paid overtime past 40 hours. That solves all your safety problems. How many of you would be speeding if you got hourly plus overtime? Nobody. I'm not telling you to go 50. You should go the speed limit. But nobody is going to be speeding if you got overtime. And they wouldn't be lowering the speed limit of these trucks. If they paid you by the hour, these companies would be all about turning your truck up. Oh, you can go 85 now. What do you know about that? James, I take the majority of my resets at home, and a lot of those are trailers at the pilot 2 miles away with the truck in the driveway, always reminding me that I have to go back to work when you walk outside. That's the other downside of it, I guess. Texas Trader, Prime passing someone Have the laws of physics been breached? Is this a different universe that you saw this in? Where did this happen? Outdoors Hillbilly. I run Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit. You happen to be in Milwaukee? I do day cab deliveries in a sleeper. How does that work? A comical trucker. Railroad pay deadhead for the time you leave home to get to the yard. Companies should do this if you're required to leave it at their terminals. Yeah, well, they do, as far as I know. If you leave the truck at the terminal, where you leave from the terminal, you should get paid. Certainly. You're dispatched from the terminal. Hayward, they're watchful. I'm a local yokel. Backing is second nature. You do it in your sleep because you get a lot of backs. You agree that they all need to be hourly. Every driver should be hourly plus overtime. I think that is the solution to safety and to driver pay. Now, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it is the solution. Will robots be required to take their breaks in a rust area? Holy moly, the puns are coming out. Mr. J. Willis, you get paid more on commission. It depends. Who has a commission job, driving a truck? Do robots have to do a 30-minute break too? So far they don't have them driving the truck, so there's always a driver in there. Michael, I worked for companies where I parked the truck at a terminal when I was at my reset, and company let others drive it locally till he got back. And the truck got trashed and smoked out. They shouldn't do that. And I agree with you, right, with that. When you're assigned a truck, it should sit there when you're not driving it. Especially if you're sleeping in it, no one should be smoking in it, driving it, or doing anything else with it. That's what an assigned truck is. 421, some companies pay overtime after 8 and others after 40, which is good. But most of that pay by the hour straight, pay after 40. Some LTLs pay overtime after 50. That's correct because of the Fair Labor Standards Act, which hasn't been changed since the 30s when it was implemented, that exempted transportation from overtime. So they don't even have to pay any overtime. The ones that do pay it, those are better companies, certainly. I just think across the board, it solves all the safety problems. It solves all the waiting, all that. If you got paid for all your time, then detention's not an issue. This hourly plus detention plus stops plus drops plus fueling, all this is all, you don't have to do any of that. How about here you get $22 an hour plus overtime. Simple. You sit in the dock, your company would be all about calling and getting you out of there. If you're sitting somewhere, no matter where they were, they would be interested in moving you down the road. Now they don't have as much incentive to do that. We should all go on strike, then we can get what we want. That won't ever happen. Wow, Bill, everyone should get a huge raise now. The companies save so much money. The company isn't going to pay the robots. It'd be interesting for companies that have robot trucks and drivers. Will the drivers get a raise because they're saving? But autonomous trucks are going to be really expensive to start with. 421, I've been hearing about a trucker strike since 05. Oh my gosh, I've been hearing about them the whole time. Which channel? GP Transcode, which hopefully they watch other channels. Yeah, but it's yours, a company truck if it needs to be. They used to do, what will owner-operators do too? But now we have Mark. Well, I appreciate that, right. Mr. J. Willis, if you get paid hourly, everybody would be at Country Pride. The yard dog would visit once a day just to clear the restaurant. This is where everybody's hiding. No, that shouldn't be. It can't be like that. The companies are hosing us on stuff where we don't get paid, and it's wrong. But we can't do that to the company. If you get paid hourly, you should go do your job. You don't get to sit and gold brick. That's stealing. You're no better than the company is doing to us. Anybody that does it, you can't do that. Work and do a day's work. It's only fair you're getting paid. That's what we want from them. We're mad that they're hosing us. Well, we can't then do that back to them. It isn't right. Any driver that does it should be fired immediately. Just get a higher rate per hour. No need for overtime when your regular rate is close to most overtime rates. That would work out good. I like overtime better because it encourages the companies to get you moving. Will the robots yell when backing up, warning, warning? No, they'll beep. Presumably they will beep in their robot voice. The trucks will not have to have a beeper installed on them. The robot itself will do all the beeping. And the doors, I guess, on some of the trailers will just be roll-up doors. So you can just back up and the robot won't have to get out there and do it. And then it will come out of the truck and murder everybody. James, I would accept minimum wage if I was paid for every hour the truck was gone when I left the yard to when it returned. Well, minimum plus overtime might not be bad. Otherwise, minimum a day is only $150 a day, $160-something a day if you don't get overtime. That's not great money. Even 7 days, it's just over $1,000 unless you got overtime. 421, since everyone does GoFundMe, I'm going to sign up for an LP and pay it off with the GoFundMe. How much will I donate? Oh, yeah. You could, that's an interesting way to do it, to get a GoFundMe page and say, I'm a lease purchase driver and I don't have any money, right? We'll get that started on here. Will owner-operators be required to hire robots? Yeah, and the robots will be a 1099. Thanks for the show. I appreciate your time. Great information. You're sitting in Liberal, Kansas. I was going to say beef, right? You're waiting for a beef load. Jimmy, thanks for saying that, and I appreciate that. 421, you wish an easy job like the white smoke, green smoke guy in the CB in West Memphis. I wonder who that is. Is that somebody that reports when they have a new pope? Is that what you're talking about? Who's this West Memphis green smoke, white smoke guy? Don't forget about July 14th to 20th, too. I should have mentioned that early, of course. But the blitz for speeding and dangerous driving and seat belts. That's what they were saying. And don't forget about Prime suing Amazon Prime. Prime sues Prime. I love it. If robots take over trucking, says George Costanza, not that there's anything wrong with it, they'll drive off the edge of the flat earth. Yeah, well, of course, and we know the earth is flat because you can obviously see that it's flat. And I love that somebody's comment, which I always remember, that if the earth was really flat, cats would have knocked everything off of it by now. So that's really good. Michael averaged 600 miles a day at 48 cents, which is $2.75. See, that's way better than minimum wage, even for the entire day, unless you got overtime, which I'd have to figure out at 168 hours. You'd have 128 hours of overtime at time and a half. So then you'd, a couple $1,000 is really all it is. The Memphis high-speed chicken feed guy, I don't know who that is. Do I know how much you're changing the industry because of your hard work and dedication? Well, hopefully some, and I appreciate you saying that. Hopefully I'll have some kind of dent on the industry and make something happen anyway. Trucking Dargan is heading to Ottawa this morning. All right. Michael, ever heard of gum drum trucking? No. Mooney, stay in the left speeding lane if I'm going to exit the left lane a few miles before the exit. Am I wrong? No, some drivers think so because they show you the finger. Well, forget them. Look, on 465, I come around Indianapolis every day on the way back, and it's a left lane exit to 65 north, so I have to be in the left lane. If they don't like it, too bad. Speed limiters, no parking at Walmart. What's going to happen for truckers next week? No polishing your wheels at a truck stop? Well, the polish guy, what would he do? He's not going to have a job. Texas Trader, thanks for the information. You made your boring office job more entertaining. Well, I'm sorry about the boring job. I'm glad that I could help some. Anyway, hopefully you're not at Walmart, at the Walmart office where they're barnacling and booting of these trucks, which I just couldn't believe that, these drivers were upset about it necessarily because, they kind of were like on the video that they felt like they have a right to park there, and you really don't have a right to park there. I thought people are going to not like that, but it's true that any private company, you don't even have a right to park at the Pilot. Remember that. We don't have a right to park at a Love's. Anywhere else, it's all private property. They can boot you off, literally, off of there anytime they want. So when we go in and either mess up their parking lot or the city puts in some kind of ordinance, we don't have any choice except to move off of the lot, really. And I assume that those drivers all paid, and so they probably will never be in a Walmart again. Now, I don't shop at Walmart personally because of their policies and their trucking and all that, but I just don't like the idea that the drivers thought that they had some right, because it's an open parking lot, they have a right to park there. You really don't have a right to park on any private property, just like somebody's house. I couldn't come over to your house and park my car in your driveway and go, well, you have a spot, so I'm parking here. You can go, no, I'm going to tow your car away. I go, no, I can park that wherever I want. No, you really don't have a way to do that. George Costanza had a bum beg you for some money at Love's. I told him if he washed your windshield, you give him $2. Did he do it? I bet the answer is no. Caleb, Warner just offered a lease owner-operator for the Dollar Tree account at $7 a mile and $300 for the unload. Worked out to $1.16 per mile. And when I went home this weekend, $1 at $7 a mile. $1.07 and $300 for the unload. Worked out to $1.16 per mile. And I'd like to be in whatever lane is needed for the exit. Yeah, exactly. Once the exit's coming up, just get over there. People can sit for a minute. Gee whiz. Are robots going to be mass produced, or can you start building? You could start building yours now. Who's going to build the robots? Other robots. Caleb, check your paycheck, and the average mile was $1.55. Do you think that's good to lease purchase? $1.55, when rates, according to DAT, just on the spot market, average $1.89, and then some markets they're over $3. Remember, Werner gets all the rest of that money. Trucker Hershey, tell them to complain to road planners. A left exit, you get in the left lane when I see an opening. Miles ahead, yes. My Rand McNally tells me it's 4 miles ahead of time. Exactly. If that's the exit, when it's the left 65 exit, I get in the left lane. Mr. J. Willis, the Oklahoma Interstate had fireworks on both sides of the highway. Those 4th of July celebrations were awesome. There were people still doing it here last night. Werner lease purchases $675 a week. Okay, that's a lot of money, right? Holy moly. So that truck's $2,600 a month. Super nice. The problem is you're not making any more than a company driver doing that. It's sad to say. If you consider all the benefits a company driver gets, you're giving all that up so you can rent a truck from them. I call Walmart and ask to speak to their manager. If he says it's okay, you put a sign with them in the window. They can't find or boot you. Yeah, that's not a bad idea as long as that manager's still on duty when you're there overnight. The night guy comes in and goes, what are all these trucks doing here? And so that's a real problem. Wonder if the robot can figure out how to shift the Terminator if he gets into an automatic. If you remember that Terminator, he looked at the transmission and all the lines came up. It was pretty cool. Perry, over here in Europe, smoking in the workplace is not permitted. The Belgian police consider a truck a workplace. That's good. And they fine you if they see you smoking in the truck. Smoking only permitted in the sleeper. That's good. A lot of companies have that policy too. And look, if it's not your truck, you shouldn't be smoking up somebody's sleeper truck. What are you doing? George Costanza used a squeegee and did a good job. Gave him $2 and some change. That's good. I'm surprised. Sometimes people are a little bit hesitant about actually doing the work. So that's somebody that wants to work. That's great. Several truck stops charge to park now, and the call-ahead spaces seem to always get booked. So the parking shortage is real. True, truck stops fill up at 2 p.m., so Walmart be the only place. But if they don't allow you to park, if it says no parking, you can't park there. It's just as simple as that. And there's no good solution for parking yet until there's more parking. But I agree. I think it's one of the biggest issues in trucking, parking, and I don't know how to solve it. I don't know what the solution to parking is. James Faust, can't believe you lasted the whole stream. We're glad that you're here, and thanks for staying for the whole time. I appreciate it. What are we going to say about the recession then? As I get ready to wrap it up, my final word on the recession is, according to the numbers, I don't see a recession. So I'm bucking the trend, apparently. With 4,300 jobs in May, the best since January. 6% increase in freight, according to DAT, and rates up as much as 16%, 14% in LA. They're up to $1.89. It's been the highest since January. I'm saying no to the recession, and that's where I am, just on the numbers. Had the guy in the offer. Guy once offered to polish your windshield. Wow, I wonder why you do that. Caleb, $5.55 is what I'm making as a company driver, but we'll only offer $5.55 is probably more than you're making. 55 cents maybe, but they will only offer $1.16 as a lease operator. Yeah, company driver is at that rate at $1.16. You're not making any money. It's $6.75 for the truck. Holy mackerel, and $1.16. Yikes. Forget that. A vape in the truck. It keeps it smell like strawberry cheesecake. Wow. I'll just eat strawberry cheesecake in the truck. That's even better. When I was, do they have strawberry cheesecake vapes? That sounds pretty good. When I was over the road, a lot of times Walmart would be the only place you could find, but park behind the store, not in front of the lot. Years ago, you could always park in there. Wild Bill, thanks. I hate when that happens. Exactly. Herward, I caught bed bugs once from slip-seating trucks with a guy who drove a sleeper. Yuck. I'm a local yoke who wasn't planning on sleeping in the thing until you broke down in a snowstorm. Well, at least you had a sleeper, but yuck. You got to go get yourself one of those biohazard suits. Pay for parking will become standard probably. Just hope they use money to increase parking. Pay for parking has always been around. People don't know this. There's always been pay for parking. Truck stops, like the Detroiter is always a good example. It's been pay for parking since I've been driving. They're on 94. The Ontario TAs have always been paid. There have always been few spots where you had to pay. It just seems to be spreading around now. Kay Wayne, thank you for being here. And yeah, we'll see you out there. John, the solution is more gas station companies like Speedway stepping up and adding truck parking. Yeah, that's the better solution is I like the government providing the parking because they're the one limiting your hours. You must stop, okay, and here's a place to park. Michael, you paid a guy in Florida to polish the chrome for $50? Trucker just refreshed up to 19,463. Yeah, almost to 20,000. At 20,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away a Blue Parrot 450 headset to somebody on the live stream. And we have some other gift cards and stuff that I'll be giving away as well. So, and the Blue Parrot is compliments of Blue Parrot, who sent that over here to be given out. So that is pretty nice of them. Why are drivers still choosing lease? There isn't any benefit to it. This comical trucker, they push it. These companies push it, especially on new people. Oh, look at all the money you're going to make. No. Look at all the money they're going to make, it should say. Jimmy Weeks, I drive nights mostly, plenty of parking during the day, plus easier and more miles, less traffic. It is easier, and if there was parking during the day, just reverse your schedule and you solve a lot of problems. Glenn, you're welcome. Charles, pay to park at the Pilot in Liverpool. A lot of them have been pay to park always since I've been driving. 421, I would go ballistic in the office. Oh, yes. I mean, holy mackerel. I would take a bag of those in there and dump them in the office. Say, you guys figure this out. Wild Belt, yeah, you might start watching the number of subscribers too. Yeah, good. I don't watch it as much as you would think. Dope. What trucking news source do I follow for headlines? I Google up trucking news and read probably 10 or 12 different sites nearly every day, and plus whatever comes up, I read that as well. James, the Detroiter, if you have the money, you can buy anything there. Yes, you could get anything you wanted at the Detroiter. I don't like the headsets. Looks like you're working the drive-thru. They're super comfortable. Look, they're very quiet. You can stand in front of the truck. And that's not just because they sent one over here, okay? You can really stand in front of the truck and not hear it running when it's out there running. They're very good. They're made for drivers. So far, I get up at 3:30 every day. You never have trouble finding parking because you're parking earlier than most people. Michael, I-70 westbound in the closed rest area permanently, but they completely redid the eastbound one. They should leave those open so that you can at least park there. Butch Flatheader, great show and videos. You make $70 a year. Nice. Open your eyes on other companies. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that and for being here. Mark, if it goes over 20,000 during a show, will that be the giveaway? No, I'll make it on the next show because I have to have a giveaway legit. You have to put in the description that it's a giveaway and the rules of the giveaway and everything. So that all has to be written out in the description. That's per YouTube terms of service, which I don't want to violate, of course. So it would be during the next show. And if it's during the week, I'll put it out there. It'll be on the next show. But the description would have to talk about what is being given away, how it's given away, the rules of the giveaway. If the person doesn't contact me, how it happens. All that is in the YouTube terms of service, believe me. And so it all has to be written out in the description, and so it would be the next show. Got the Prime going 65 uphill. That's good for them. Matt B has been here the whole time. Thank you very much. I appreciate people sticking around for the whole show. I give drivers a bar of soap all the time. I get hotels for 10, so I donate free shower and soap after I fuel your truck for the night. Good. Some of them need it on the spot. I won't even consider working for a company unless they've been featured on doing it better so far. Well, thank you. There's a lot of good companies that haven't been on there yet. It takes a while to get to everybody. So don't think like just because they're not on there, they may not be worthy of being on there. Not sure what this earpiece I have is. It fits inside your ear. I like to think you look like it's Secret Service rather than McDonald's drive-thru. If it works for you, can people hear you when you're talking on it if it's just jammed in your ear hole? Dope Law. Yes, look for companies doing it better and tell other people. Yes, thank you, and spread the word. And if you have any companies that should be on there, send it to me. Let me know and why they should be on there. 420, when all the decent companies haven't been featured. Yeah, not yet. There's lots of companies. When am I going to receive the Chrome Play button? Oh, yeah, probably never, okay? For those of you that don't know, when you reach a certain number of subscribers on YouTube, you get a play button, okay? And the Chrome, the first one, right, is, I don't know if it's Chrome or not, is 100,000. So I think they should give people something at 10,000, but they don't. And so it's 100,000. So it'll be a while. And if I get a Chrome Play button, of course, I'll take it to the TA and have the Chrome guy polish it. That'll be super nice. We wish we could offer to give away $170,000 trucks. Oh, GP Transco, yeah. maybe GP Transco would offer a truck for the giveaway. That would be awesome. One of your new trucks, possibly in the giveaway show. We'll see. Will camera companies be on doing it better? No. I have a couple dash cam videos, but I think lytics may never make the show. Have you seen the billboards on 65 north of Indianapolis that says hardware companies making 90 cents a month? No. I go by there every day. I think I paid $130 for it at the Pilot 5 years ago. Yeah, they're in the low hundreds, but people, expensive. No. Things are, they either have their value. Things are not expensive. They have value. So don't think cheap, think value. Not cost, but what is value? It shows Schuster a great choice, Jimmy Weeks. I'm glad that they're good. Believe me, nobody's more nervous about putting that video out than me. That's for sure. Tamuri, right. What is this channel all about? We're all about trucking right here. And right now, at about 3:30, we're all about wrapping it up for the day. But I am out here every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern live for 2.5 hours. I'll consider Wild Bill's idea of taking some time off, and I'll just call work and just do a show for the whole day. We'll see how that goes. But seriously, right, it's 3:30, so I do have to go make my company some money. So but stop looking at the Bob and Tom billboards. Are they still on the radio? Holy mackerel. How old are those guys? If you have a new KW with muffled exhaust, can you use an engine brake? Well, no, not really. You're not supposed to, but look, mine's just a Freightliner with an underneath exhaust, and I have the thing on all the time. I've always run with the brake on, other than in ice or whatever, and nobody says anything because it isn't loud. But theoretically, could you get a ticket? Yes, if it says no engine braking. But, the problem is it's loud, and so that's what they're hearing. So if it's quiet, it doesn't bother me. James, thanks for being here. Al, I appreciate it. Jimmy Weeks, thank you for coming in. Cash is king. There are a couple of billboards that say company drivers 90 cents. I'm going to look for those tonight. Okay, as long as there's no traffic, I go back that way. So I will check those billboards. I haven't seen that. 90 cents would be really something. That's probably the highest pay I've ever seen for a company driver. That'd be impressive if they actually pay it. What is the catch to that 90 cents? Believe me, there's going to be some kind of catch for it. All right. Otherwise, I have to go make the company some money. So I'm out here. Everybody be safe out there, okay? And if there's no bathroom somewhere, let me know where the heck that is. And don't be going outside out by the thing. Yikes. Schuster driver. Yeah, there's the referral for Schuster. Not for me, of course. I don't take any money from trucking companies. So that's the way it goes. I'm headed off to work. Be safe, and we'll see you next Monday at 1 p.m. and some more videos this week, of course. Write to me. See you out there.